That show me subscribe.
Make no mistake, we're the only black people in y'all that only eat rat, eat cat people. You ain't black, you ain't that. Matter of fact, your black is repo, I'm taking it back. Cause y'all making it whack, faking jacks, y'all from the slave, raiding the tax. Bitch. We built the foundation, our innovations were groundbreaking. Y'all ain't wanna get down, now you're around, hating, faking, with the lineage in and out, the ground shaking. Someone say, FBA, we don't run away. We stay, we slay, we pray, we say, Someone say, FBA, we don't run away. We stay, we slay, we pray, we say, Make no mistake, we're the only black people and y'all the only eat rat, eat cat people. You ain't black, you ain't that. Matter of fact, your black is repo, I'm taking it back. Cause y'all making it whack, faking jacks, y'all from the slave, raiding the tax. Breaks, pause, we built the foundation, our innovations were groundbreaking. Y'all ain't wanna get down, now you're around, hating, faking, with the lineage eating, now the ground shaking. Someone say, FBA, we don't run away. We stay, we slay, we pray, we say, Someone say, FBA, we don't run away. We stay, we slay, we pray, we say,
that the entire purpose of affirmative action, set-asides, civil rights laws, laws that limit constitutional rights to freedom of contract, freedom of association, all of that was to make up for the legacy of slavery and Jim Crow. So unless these benefits are going to, roughly defined, foundational Black Americans, the descendants of American slaves, you've taken away the whole purpose of this. So to make the point that Kamala isn't a foundational Black American, I'm always pointing to, unless these benefits are going to, roughly defined, foundational Black Americans, the descendants of American slaves.
African Americans built this nation. You built this nation. You're just starting to get real credit for that. Okay, I don't know if you know that. You're just starting to you built the nation. We all built it, but you were such a massive part of it. Bigger than you were given credit for. Does that make sense?
Hey, man, welcome to FBA News and Updates. I am your host, unbiased Ron. Brother, listen, man. Sisters, listen, we respect your religious ideologies. That's not an issue over here. You can be, listen, man, whatever your personal situation is all good over here. If your Bible, cool, Quran, cool, whatever you're doing in your personal life, that's cool. That's not what this channel here is for. We respect your personal decisions. If you believe you're more Hebrew Israelite, Muslim from Nation of Islam, whatever you do, man, it's cool. But this ain't the channel for that. There's spaces for that on the net, Clubhouse, TikTok, Twitter. This ain't that space. This space is just for those who say they are foundational to this country. That's it. It's real simple. If you're a Hebrew Israelite and you're foundational, welcome. This is your home. If you're more and you're foundational, this is your home. If you are a Muslim, okay, this is your home. If you're an atheist, if you're LGBTQIA plus, whatever you want to be, man, cool. Yeah. Are you FBA? So the bottom line is going to always come back to, are you FBA? And then the second question is, are you an FBA supporter? So you don't got to be FBA, bloodline and a lineage, but are you a supporter? Are you riding with the lineage? Okay, then we're going to reward you too. You're welcome here. You feel me? So that's all, man. Whatever you want to believe about yourself, that's fine with me. It's for over here in this channel, it's all about what is your lineage and do you support what our lineage is talking about? It's real simple, man. It's not that difficult. Okay, so you know what, bro? Hey, look, I'm just gonna delete you. So goodbye. So create another channel. You dig? Whatever. It's got to my religion, bro. April, peace, orange, cold. You already know with the foundation. We got Neat in the building. FBA Convo. I just said April. I just said orange, cold. You dig? Fresh, always. Cool name. 420 LNH be in the building. It's one of those late crazy nights, Claude, where I try to stay up. So the joke is on me because as long as we get going early, I can get off like 12. Anything around at 11:30, 12, your brother start get to sleep. Yeah, I start falling asleep. So but I bought some sugar though, Mama did. I bought some sugar today. I had no sugar for my coffee. I was drinking coffee with just nothing, just black, no sugar, no milk, nothing. I bought milk and sugar tonight, so to keep me up if I do get sleepy. You dig what I'm saying? But we got Aggie Ma's World, and I'm gonna tell you right now, hey yo, you guys that came this time yesterday, you guys were lit, and we were like 133 deep at like 1 o'clock in the morning. You feel me? We 12 a.m. 1 o'clock in the morning because the family pulled up. They're like, yo, we're gonna make this channel successful. We're gonna make this channel up there with the big channels to compete with academics and all those clowns. You dig? And we're gonna get them over here and interview them, but on our talking points. No gang stuff, no goofy stuff. We're gonna ask academic questions about FBA delineation. We're gonna, you know what I mean, and he's gonna be forced to comply or expose himself as what we think he is, which is an implant. But he has a, you know what I mean, we're gonna try to give him a chance where he can prove he's not. Pinky Wells, peace. Pinky be hitting the email, hella videos. I mean, thank you. Trust me. Listen, when you guys, it's a couple people too sending me emails and links. I'm saving them. Those are all in my playlist. I just never get to the playlist because we be lit, but it's there. It's not going nowhere. You feel me? So, and that means I got content. I got content on top of content, top of content, top of content. But right now, we're doing the diaspora wars. You feel me? So let's get an update on Umar. Okay, this is supposedly 5 hours ago. Umar's part of a panel. He's never good on panels, but let's see how this goes. Hold on. This is maybe an update. His hair is low, so I don't think this is recent. But I didn't see this. Let's see how this goes. Hold on, family.
Other atmospheres or environments where it may not necessarily get for other people to see. I think there's power.
Why should Black people care about interracial relationships? Frederick, kick us off.
Oh, wow. Okay, no. Well, I feel like Black people should care about interracial relationships because they're important, right? It gives us an opportunity.
Hey, yo, listen, man. Let me tell you my thoughts. Interracial relationships. Listen, you ain't on trial. I ain't gonna judge you, but if it's just that, pleasure, having fun, singleness, no kids, go ahead. But when the kid's involved, I think that's when it gets tricky because that kid's gonna grow up confused. That's my only problem with interracial relationships. The kid end up being a sample far too often. Yeah, that's my only thing, man. The kid end up being a sample.
Opportunity, like I'm an interracial relationship myself, so it gives us an important opportunity to be a bridge. So we see ourselves as a bridge with so much divide going on. So we try to be that bridge for other people that have questions on.
Hold on, I don't know how you thought you were a bridge because you had because you got a mulatto kid. I don't know how that's a bridge. That's crazy logic. But listen, we got Mr. AMG in the chat. Man, you read my mind. He got Tariq plus Yvette FBA dollars. That's exactly what it is. So the doors are open. Maybe Tariq and Yvette, those two individuals, those two personalities, maybe they can never get together, but that don't mean we can't. That don't mean you who call yourself FBA and you who call yourself ADOS. That don't mean you guys can't get together and form FBA DOS. That goes perfectly. Listen, let's say it. Foundational Black Americans, descendants of slaves. What is wrong there? What is incorrect? What is historically inaccurate? Everything I just said was facts. Foundational Black American descendants of slaves. So FBA and ADOS go perfectly together. Foundational Black American descendants of slaves. So we can work together. Like, don't fall for the hype, man. If Tariq and Yvette got a personal beef, that's on them. They're 2 people out of 43 million. They're nothing without us. Okay, it's the majority that's going to rule. Just don't forget that. 43 million, the majority on code, they're going to decide the terms and conditions and the rules. You feel me? No individual, no one person is greater than 43 million. Keep that in mind. Hold on. Evolve says it harms more than helps. Yeah, I'm not sure what oh yeah, exactly. I got you. Listen, Evolve, I'm gonna make you a moderator. I feel like that comment, you are FBA, ADOS. If you're neither, if you don't claim either one, let me know. I will de-wrench you. But right now you have a wrench. I feel like you're ADOS or FBA, you're of the lineage. Whether you call yourself whatever you call yourself, you're the lineage. Just confirm that, and you have moderator rights. And like, subscribe, hit the notification bell. Everybody like the video as soon as you hear my voice. Golden Brown, Thorough Brother, always here. Ride or die, he's always here. If I'm talking about deers stomping our ants, Golden Brown is here representing, keeping the channel alive. So you got support for your brother. unbiased Ron. Golden Brown's 100% supporter, 100% rider. You dig? Got much love, respect for that man. Yeah. So Empress Live Tess. Greetings to you, Claire 64. Another one. Ride or die. Ron in chat. I'm ADOS, but love FBA dollars. Facts. It makes it, you can combine FBA and ADOS, and it fits perfectly. Foundational Black American descendants of slaves. What is incorrect about that? Nothing. It's perfect. We're foundational. We're Black. We're American, and we're descendants of slavery. Everything is factual. Nothing is wrong there. We got JD Sage in the building. Um another rider. He said he's not feeling it. I mean, it's not for everybody. You feel me? But that's why JD. That's why we say, man, it's about the majority. If it's 43 million of us, right? Let's say if 38 million is on code or something, right? And 5 million ain't. Guess who's gonna win that one? 38 million. So we're not a monolith. Some people gonna disagree, some folks gonna agree, but it comes down to the majority in most cases, and that's gonna be our case. Golden Brown says our bloodline is special. Bloodline is so don't just give it to anyone. Yeah, I agree where you're going with that, right? That's why I say interracial relationships, be careful, man. Make sure that you have a say so, a strong say so in that relationship, because your other partner will turn your kid to a sample. All right. So you better be thorough, strong, and boisterous, and and whatever you say must matter, or that relationship will be trash and your kid will be a sample. I'm talking about it'll be you and your kid. It'll be your kid saying, "What about black on black crime?" Rocking with Candace Owens and the conservatives. I'm telling you, they are quick to go conservative, those mulattoes. Uh, Trying to tell you, man, you got to really have control of your household. Some say so. Uh, JD says $5 super chat, definitely a support. He always donating, and I feel like we need to mix it up. We can't have the same people donating $5, $5. I feel like some people can donate 99 cents. You can put 99 cents in the super chat once a month. You did, but the same names over and over. Let's spread the love. We got Felicia Cox in the building. Hey, FB family, chat and Maz, peace to you. Aggie Maz World says, brother, I'm a black historian, black Bostonian, FBA. Shout out to you. Evolve. So I read all the comments. Well, I don't read all comments, but I try to read comments. So you don't have to send a super chat to get your comment read. But super chatters, they know that time is money, and they know I sacrifice a lot of time. I go twice every day, almost, and sometimes 3 times. So some people just feel like some people put a dollar amount on that time and say, "Hey, man, let me send $5. You did maybe just go to a coffee." Because I did spend today. I got sugar and milk, right, for coffee. So sometimes when you send $5, a dollar, $2, man, that matters, man. You paying for ingredients, you're paying for coffee. You just don't know how far that goes. But it evolves. Says nobody's bigger than the program, 100%. So I don't always read just the super chats. I definitely read the comments when they catch my eye. You got some channels that are so entitled. You send a super chat with a note to it. They'll never read it because they're so entitled. And I try not to do that. I try not to get in over my head. I try to stay humble, stay grounded, and stay grass rooted. You feel me? All right. And I think that's why folks rock me. They feel that in me, and I can't let y'all down. I can't let y'all down. All right. So let's continue.
Other races other races and stuff like that. So we want to just be a bridge for them. We want to allow them an opportunity to ask the tough questions and be a positive light, and to be that backboard that they can
a bridge to racial harmony.
Yes, a bridge to it. I mean, there's so much division, and in our relationships, we try to allow our relationship to be an image of what it looks like for unity, right? Unity together and coming together and you have differences, I have differences, I'm different than you, but we can come together and have something that's beautiful, and that's our marriage.
Why should Black people care about interracial relationships, Juice?
Yeah, like I said, interracial relationship. If you're not really that voice in that relationship, and your FBA is probably not going to work out to your advantage. It's going to come out to be a disadvantage to you, and your child going to be on some sad bullshit. So we got Claire 64 in the super chat with the lineage love. Okay, you send a super chat, that means that it's lineage love. That means you are supporting the channel. You are encouraging me, inspiring me, motivating me to keep the content coming. You guys were sending so much love financially and liking the video. Both are equally to me. Liking the video and super chatting, cash apping. The cash app is pinned to the top, but all of that support, liking the video, super chatting, cash apping, all those are equal to me. And when you like the video, when you super chat, when you cash app, all of them, if you just simply like the video, liking the video alone motivates me to keep going live, keep being innovative with the content, keep being unique, and keep coming. You dig? One day I went live 3 times in one day because of the likes, first and foremost, and then the financial contributions. So we got Jetty Sage back in the super chat, this time with $10 with the lineage love, and he says Star Wars, my ninja. Okay, so yeah, so everybody's not gonna be able to financially support. Trust me, I dig. Foundation Black America. I know white supremacy stripped us of capital. So I know a lot of us don't have the capital to just willy-nilly send to support the channel. But you're like, trust me, family, trust me. I'm not capping. Liking the video is as equivalent to a financial donation. So if you don't plan on financially donating to the Cash App or the Super Chat, family, and you claim to be FBA Adolph Freeman, you love the lineage, you must like the video. If you can't at least like the video, then nothing else makes sense. You dig? You definitely is on some implant sabotage type shit. Liking is free. You just close the chat if you're on the phone, click like, open the chat back up. It's that simple. If you're not planning on financially donating and you can't like the video either, yeah, that ain't being on code.
Really, it's like I'm not really here to like preach or force my belief on someone, but it's like there's just so much
But
focus.
if you guys don't know, let me share with you real fast. This is free because of people like hold on. Because we go back because of people like SETI Sage, people like DSB, people like Claire 64, people like V4 Vengeance, and all the other regular super chatters and cash appers. Somebody cash at me today, $20, and that $20 literally went to food. Like you really pay for I only eat one time a day. I only eat one time a day. I drink coffee in the morning, and I normally don't eat until the one at that one time normally. So I drink coffee in the morning, and then I probably don't eat till about in between 3 to 6. And once I eat, it's a wrap. Whatever I buy, that is it. I eat normally one time a day. So somebody sent $20 and Cash App $20, and that was that they literally paid for the food for the day. Cause I did go live early this morning from 9 to 5. That's 8 hours. You feel me? So somebody sent $20. They pretty much paid for my lunch, dinner, or whatever you want to call it. So we got the answers in the building. Say peace. We got Jetty Sage back in the super chat again with some more dough. He says last time Jedi Sage. All right, okay, all right. My fault. I'm not a Star Wars fan like that. I exposed myself. He said last time, Jet. I'm over here crushing your name. Jedi. Right, okay, my fault. I exposed myself. I'm not a big Star Wars fan. Jedi Sage. I'm saying Jetty. He like, yo, what the hell is that? Jedi Sage. And look, I just reached out to our brother. He's on the Pan-Africanist RBG type shit, but he also is FBA. So I reached out to Cyrus Vansetti today, and he has an explosive personality. He's like gun happy, trigger happy, you want to call it. So that's why I never reached out to him. I feel like it can go left and it'll go against what I want to do. But I reached out to him. Maybe he's older, more mature, more tolerant. And I reached out, said, "Hey man, like let's make it happen, bro. Come over, join the panel, bro. You know, let's see what we can do. Let's see how many lineage folks we can bring in and get this shit going. Maybe he might be a permanent, panelist. You feel me? Let's see how this goes." I said, "Bro, well, just try it. Just pull up." He's RBG. He's Pan-Africanist. I'm 100% anti-RBG, 100% anti-Pan-Africanist. And maybe we can have a cordial, respectful, professional conversation about RBG. Because my history, from what I read, is garbage. And from what I read, the Pan-Africanist movement is a psyop of white supremacy. So I would love to hear his take on or his response to that. And I would love to see what research he has to show RBG is on code, on par with FBA ADOS. I would love to see what research he has that shows Pan-Africanism is on par and on code with FBA ADOS. I just don't see it happening. I think he just got to revise history, distort history to make that connection. I think it's a complete chase, and it's okay just to drop it. I understand, Seti, almost all your adulthood, you were stuck on Egypt and Pan-Africanism RBG. It's okay to turn a new leaf. See, the older we get, the more stubborn we get, the less likely we're going to change and evolve to a better cocoon. You did. We're going to cocoon. See, embrace what's going on. That's your cocoon. And then you're going to come out something beautiful afterwards, man. You're going to feel better. But holding on to this RBG, Pan-Africanist bullshit is garbage, man. I got the research. I did the research. I got the information. It's garbage. There's nothing there. It's a nothing burger. Like literally. It's two buns, but nothing in there. Big, no meat, no mayonnaise, no lettuce, nothing. It's just two buns together. It's a nothing burger. Seriously. And I'm willing to stand on that versus anybody who's pro Pan-Africanist or RBG. Just ask for the link or just ask for the number. And I won't cuss you out. That's not my stilo. And I'm very respectful and cordial. I try to lead by example. I try to a lot of these guys, a lot of these Pan-Africanist RBG guys always talk about self-reliance, self-determination, self-resilience, know thyself. But one thing they don't preach self-control. You dig? So I try to live by that example. Like, dude, it's all this self-reliance, self-reflection, all this selfie, dude, all this selfie. What about self-control? It seems like none of y'all have ever in your life practice self-control. So that's what I'm on. So Pambo said, Pambo, you said, what's RBG, brother? So some questions I will answer, some I won't. But all you gotta do is type into AI, what's RBG, and say something like black culture, and you'll get your answer, and you'll know as much as me that fast. The answers is in the building. You dig? He's in the building. She's in the building. I still be wishing MFers the best in all of their future endeavors, but they can definitely stay the wait. Yeah, we be into some weird stuff, bro. Seriously. He says soy burger. I eat a soy burger. I eat a veggie burger. I do that. So Jedi, I got your name right this time, brother. Jedi Sage back in the super chat, doubling down, tripling down, holding it down. Says 14 years old black FBA boy wrote Star Wars and the white man stole it. He says first priest of Egypt were a Jedi black woman wrote the Terminator. Yeah, I'm aware of that. The Terminator and the Matrix sci-fi is where they hide it. Yeah, I'm with you on that one. I heard about that. Yeah, it's unfortunate. And she was suing and all type of stuff. Yes, it's very, very, very unfortunate. You dig? Wow. Okay, so far so good. We're doing good today. We're on par. So let's hear this. Yeah, so far as for me, I'm not the voice of Yah. There's no leaders. I'm the voice of myself. And right, I'm just voice stressed. I'm just opinionated. I'm just loud. I'm on the microphone, but my voice is not stronger and powerful than y'all's. You guys gotta live. You guys gotta live by what makes you sleep comfortably like a baby. So if I'm by as Ron said it, and it's not, it don't fit your soul. If it makes you not sleep well, then maybe it's not for you. So I'm boisterous, I'm opinionated, but my voice is for me and for those who agree. Okay. But interracial relationship for me is garbage because of the kid, not because of the love. I'm sure you can love an Asian woman, white woman, Jamaican woman, Haitian woman, African woman, I'm sure Latina woman. I'm sure that's legitimate love, and I ain't got a problem with that. Ain't right. You ain't on trial. I ain't judging you. My thing is the kid. The kid is usually influenced by the non-FBA parent, and the kid end up being a sample. Somebody I got to cook and call out and cook. That's how that usually happens. You see that the half, that the coffee half and half folks be the people I gotta cook. The Tylers of the world, the Myron Gaines of the world. Like it's the half and halves be the issue more than the whole. And that's my thing about interracial relationships. It's the kid that's usually off cold, that's using some sample shit, some what about black on black crime shit. It's the kid for me. It's the offspring. So if y'all just if you do a vasectomy and she tie her tubes and you date interracial relationally, I got no problem with that. It's just the kid that usually grows up on some what about black on black crime. Let's get back to the panel.
Focus on skin color, and I'm like, I feel like the focus to me, again, is just my opinion, but I feel like the focus should be on someone's character first. And if the person's nice and you like them, then it makes sense to kind of want to be around them because they're nice people, regardless of what they look like. So, for me, it just makes sense to focus on someone's character first, then someone's appearance, skin color, and that stuff. So, yeah.
Dr. Umar, let's get into it. Why should Black people care about interracial relationships?
Black people should care about interracial relationships for 3 reasons. Number one, when we go outside of our community to select our mates, we undermine the importance of the traditional Black family in the lives of Black people, and in particular, Black children. If Black boys don't see Black men being committed to Black women, they may be less inclined to do the same themselves. There can be no nation without first having a strong Black family, and the traditional Black family is under attack. And when we talk about interracial relationships in our community, we're overwhelmingly talking about Black men. It is Black men who marry outside of their race more than the men of every other race in this country put together as a percentage of their respective communities. 25% of all newlywed Black men in this past decade, were married outside of their race, 25%. And although we have seen an increase in Black women dating outside of the race, it's only up to 12%. So interracial marriage in the Black community is overwhelmingly a Black male thing. How can we turn our backs on our women, which is a form of turning our backs on our community? And without question, it represents turning our backs on our children. Working in the schools, one of the big questions I always get from Black girls, 3rd graders, 4th graders, and 5th graders is, Dr. Umar, what's wrong with me? Why is it that so many Black men choose to marry someone who does not look like their mother?
Frederick, you said you're in an interracial relationship. Have you turned your back on the Black family?
No. How can I turn my back on my family? My family is a Black family. I grew up in a Black family. My mom is Black. My dad's Black. I'm Black. I am inherently Black. That my choice to marry.
See, for me, calling yourself Black don't mean anything because Black means differently for FBAs as it does for Black African immigrants. African immigrants just use the term Black as a descriptive term. It describes their melanin expression through their skin. That's what it means to them. For Foundation Black Americans, Black doesn't mean that. It means more than that. Black goes back to the lineage, right? That's real simple. When we say Black, we're talking about a lineage. When African immigrants, people from the Caribbean, when they say Black, they're describing their melanin expression. So when he says he's Black by Black, it's like, yo, that don't mean anything to us. Can you explain do your Blackness tie you to the lineage, the ethnogenesis in America, the United States of America? It's real simple for us. Like, yo, yes or no? Okay, once you say no, then okay, then you're not Black based on our definition.
Marry my wife that isn't Black does not make me less Black. You know, to think that I turn my back on my family is a Black family. I grew up in a.
I hear a little accent, to be honest. So it looks like he's probably not Black by our definition, our standards, our criteria. I hope somebody asks him where he's from. I don't think it's going to be lineage. I don't think.
Black family. My mom is Black. My dad's Black. I'm Black. I am inherently Black. That my choice to marry my wife that isn't Black does not make me less Black. You know, to think that the entire Black community is going to perish because of a decision I made, I don't think that's very, you know, that's a great, that's not very reasonable to say, if that makes sense.
If I could push back respectfully, briefly, I would just say we have to look at the reality that Black women are more likely than any other women in this country.
See, it is very likely they have different opinions about what Black is. It is likely Umar is talking about the lineage, and it's likely that guy who I think is from the islands, his definition of Black is just a melanin expression through your skin. So they're like talking apples and oranges, but they won't. They just won't. They won't get it. So they'll be confused the whole dialogue.
To marry later in life, they're more likely to be married much shorter than other women, and they're more likely to not get married at all. Only 1 out of every 4 Black women in the United States will get married. So for a Black man to marry out of his race and not say that he does not bear any responsibility for the fact that Black women have such a difficult time finding a man who looks like them, who is willing to build a family with them, to say that it is not a form of betrayal on some level, I believe is politically disingenuous. Black people, with the history we have in this country, coming from slavery through Jim Crow, through Willie Lynch, all the way up to today, we need each other. And it's important to recognize that even when you date or marry outside of your race, the non-African that you're marrying, the white person or be the person of another culture, but particularly white people, they are still just as racist as other white people. There's this notion that when you marry or date a white person, that particular white person was more liberal than other whites. The research does not bear that out. The research shows that they are just as racist as other white people. And
to say that, for me to say that every white woman, because I married a white woman, every white woman, my wife, every white woman, a white person is inherently racist, I think is wrong, because you're not giving that person a chance to prove to you.
No, that's actually correct. They are inherently racist. They got to prove they're not, and it's not the other way, brother. It's not the other way.
You who they are. Like if I take that notion, then that means that everybody that looks at me is going to think that I am inherently racist toward them because they're a different race. I like to give people
Yeah. See, that's what happens when we date interracial relationships. You feel me? Interrelationally.
You prove to me that
That's
you
the
have
issue
character, you're
right there.
upstanding, and that you look at within before you look outward, then I can roll with you. I can rock with you. And that's kind of how, in determining when I dated my wife, I could see that she had those characteristics. And I chose one person. So I truly believe there's someone out there for everybody, regardless of what your race is. There's someone out there for you. So I was only the person for my wife, and that's who I married.
Dr. Umar, does it devalue the community or the culture?
It most certainly does. What it does is it reinforces stereotypes that have long been held in this society, that Black women are not valued, Black women are not wanted, and that there is something inherently wrong with Black women, and that's why they're not desired by the Black man or the white man. Without question, when you see so many well-educated and economically comfortable Black men going outside of their community to find a spouse, even though it is not openly stated, it is clearly socially and non-verbally communicated that something must be wrong with the Black woman. The Black woman is our responsibility.
Juice, you've said that, you're not really here to give your opinion. You're not really here to judge anybody else. Can you speak to the responsibilities that Dr. Umar just talked about when he said, look, Black men have a responsibility to society? Do you not believe that?
I disagree. I mean, again, it's not, I'm not here to please society. I can care less about what someone thinks about my decisions. I'm not here to please anyone. So again, I'm not here to like push belief or preach on, but it's like, again, I'm doing this because I enjoy being around people who are good, regardless of who you are. Just that simple with me.
Right. But the question is, do you believe you have, as a Black man, you have a responsibility to society in any way?
Absolutely not. Black or white, I'm not born in this life to be responsible for anyone or anything. I mean, it's just my decision on how I live my life, regardless of how you feel about it. So it's not my responsibility whatsoever as a Black man.
Did you seek out a white woman?
Absolutely not.
That's a misconception that Black men seek out white women. So
even if that's your
I mean, listen, that's another issue. Sometimes people just fall on your lap. You're not seeking out them. So sometimes if you're an FBA woman, this Latino man just fall in your lap, right? You ain't seeking them out. It just, the stars align, the cosmos, whatever, and you just vibe out, and that's your husband. I get it. I'm not gonna fault you. Same thing. Sometimes you have an FBA man and looking for a mate, nothing's his way so far in his own lineage, and stars align and he mess around and find out, meet maybe a Korean woman. You dig? Like, who am I? Right? Who am I? That happens, but again, what happens afterwards is going to be the issue. It's that damn kid. If you're not boisterous, if you're not standing on business, if you're not screaming FBA loud, you dig, that kid is most likely going to be a coon or tethered or tether-minded. That's the issue I have. And these men that's into interracial relationships, I don't believe they're the men of their homes. I think the woman is, and most likely their mulatto kids are going to be talking about what about Black on Black crime. I just sense that.
Your preference. It's your business. It's like almost like being gay. That's your preference of dating whomever.
Hey man, peace. We got Carlos Magus in the building. We got LaRonda Hicks. I ain't see you in a minute, LaRonda. I ain't seen Nat Turner in a minute. You dig? Majestic. Where y'all been at, man? We trying to get this live. We trying to get this channel lit. We're trying to be above 66 at 10:27 Eastern Time PM. You dig? But if y'all go missing, the channel can't grow. We want the family all at once. I got 2,043 subscribers. Why can't I get one live? Most of y'all on code on the live, 2,000, 1,000 folks live. Why is always, just a small portion? What are we doing? Like, let's find a way to get on code, hop on live, show strength. Show these tethers, yo. We don't need y'all. we're 43 million deep, but if we only 66 live viewers, shit, that's saying we do need them. It's giving the opposite message. You feel me?
Whatever you want, and again, that's not why
we got Miss Sanders. No, I'm sorry. We got Miss Sincere in the building.
I did it because I need a Caucasian woman. No, I'm around different people all the time. Again, I'm around a lot of dark-skinned people who are terrible. Even my own family members, they could be just terrible people to be around, and they're dark-skinned. So I'm not around them as much. But if they were
okay, the fact that he highlighted a skin tone lets us know, dude, you are just specifically seeking white women, bro. Like you have a problem with yourself and your lineage, bro. And people like you're the problem. Like you're cancerous to the lineage. Like, yeah, it's you, bro. It's you.
Caucasian, I'll treat them the same way. If you're a bad person, I won't be around you. Just that simple, really.
Do interracial relationships affect the Black economy?
Well, yes, if they coons, if the offspring is off code and a coon, and most likely that they're going to be, unless you got a rider, FBA woman rider, FBA man rider, who's like boldly and proudly represent our lineage. The kid, if you don't do that, the kid likely is gonna be a coon, a sample. Somebody said something in the chat. I was gonna read it. Oh, I was gonna say this, family. If you don't know, look at my schedule. I'm gonna create a post that's in my schedule. My schedule or my targeted time to go live is about 8:30 a.m. and 8:30 p.m. So sometimes I'm a little late and I do a little afterwards, but that's the targeted time. So if you can free your schedule to support, I want large numbers. I want this channel to get out there. I want to compete with the tether channels and get them over here. I want to interview the large tether channels, but they're not going to do that because they're clout chasers. They have no dignity, no morality, nothing. They're very immoral. They like to see numbers. If we got the numbers, they're going to come and we get to ask them the tough questions about delineation, self-identification, reparation. We get to ask them the tough questions. But that's not going to happen in small numbers. They'll never come up because they're clout chasers. They're going to be where the numbers are, even if it shames them. They have no self-worth. They don't care about being shamed. They care about clicks.
That's a really deep question right there. Dr. Umar, can you give us a deep answer?
Of course, interracial marriages affect the Black community.
Yeah, I agree with Umar on that one. So Maurice Howard Jr. says, Dr. Maurice Howard Jr., B1. Let me give Maurice Howard Jr. a lineage wrench. I'm gonna make you a moderator, my brother. Just go ahead and like the video and subscribe, hit the notification bell. At one point, the live stream viewers and the likes were close. They're kind of close. We're good. I'm gonna just say this: if you haven't liked the video, just go ahead and like the video as soon as possible. Thank you.
Community. In fact, I would argue that the economic sabotage, the economic treason that takes place whenever a Black man, especially an educated Black man, an economically comfortable Black man, decides to abandon the Black woman for a white woman, he takes with him not only his heart, but he takes his savings, he takes his education, he takes his financial opportunities, he takes his checkbook with him. Let us be honest that marriage at its very foundation is a financial relationship. Anyone who doesn't believe that only need go to divorce.
See, Umar, this is his lane. Umar is great with these type of conversations right here. This is his lane. He messed up and he ruined his name trying to establish a school that he was never serious. Okay, he was, well, my research, my conclusion, my assessment on Umar, he was never, ever serious about producing in school. But this is his lane right here. These talking points, you can be successful on the internet, man. You got academics, you got Joe Button. You don't have to produce in school, my boy. You ruined your stuff. You had a gift. They call it the gift of gab. You have the gift of speaking, man. You don't have to take on a stupid burden and produce a school for black boys. You don't. That's not you, my boy. You're unqualified. You are a internet personality, man. Social media personality. That's who you are. Yeah, but these folks, man, they're not patient. They don't want to build it. We seen, heard things. If you build it, it will come. These guys don't want to build shit for real, for real. They just want to scam their way to success. And it's sad, but it's true. They don't want to build anything and let it build up. Like right now, I'm building this channel up from scratch. So Donnie Williams and FBA Convo can tell you when we had like 6, 7 live viewers. You dig? And that's prime time. It's prime time. And now look where we at. We at 66 at 10:33 p.m. on a Sunday night. With Sunday night football up and running, you dig? So we doing all right. We came a long way. And I respect that. And they respect that because we were always here. So I love it. I see the growth. I'm growing with the growth. Did you heard me? I said I'm growing with the growth. That's deep. I'm growing with the growth. With the growth. I'm tripping. I'm growing with the growth. So Umar was supposed to be successful like Joe Budden, like Charlemagne, all those folks, DJ Academics, but he blew it. He couldn't he couldn't build it and wait for it to manifest and blossom. He decided to scam. And that's unfortunate, but family, that's just in his DNA. It was written.
Divorce court and see how many people are arguing over the love that they gave the other person during the marriage. In divorce court, love is never a focus. You're focusing on assets. You're focusing on savings. You're focusing on retirement. And the black woman and the
Motown stars. So you believe that? I'm sorry, Motown. When I go on a rant, I'm not reading chats. I'm not sure who you're replying to. Umar, myself, or somebody from the comment. Can you elaborate what you're replying to? If it's me, I can reply. If it's somebody else, I'll just ignore it. Thank you.
The black community loses out on all of that whenever a black man decides to seek a white woman's hand in marriage. You're taking from a people who don't have enough, and you're taking it to another people who have already stolen so much. And what makes it even more insulting is the opportunities.
Yeah, but Umar, you sound hypocritical because that was the Marcus Garvey game plan. You said you're taking from people who don't have enough and you're giving to people who have everything. That's what Garvey did. He took from poor people to finance his fantasy dream for a steamship that can take us to Africa, which we never asked to do. And it didn't happen, bro. It failed. Okay, hold on.
Already stolen so much. No, seek a white woman's hand in marriage. You're taking from a.
So I remember I was at. So yeah, so Garvey took from people who did not have enough, and he gave it to people who have enough. He gave it to the white man to buy the steamship. So what he's saying is exactly what Garvey did. He took from people who didn't have enough, and then he gave it to people who have enough. White people.
But people who don't have enough assets. You're focusing on savings. You're focusing on retirement. And the black woman and the black community loses out on all of that whenever a black man decides to seek a white woman's hand in marriage. You're taking from a people who don't have enough. And you're taking it to another people who have already stolen so much. And what makes it even more insulting is the opportunities that put you in that economic position to be able to get married and take care of a family came from black people who died, who suffered, who struggled, who sacrificed for us to be in this position today. And for me to take my education and my income over to the white woman when there's so many black women who need it cannot be interpreted as anything other than economic betrayal.
See, y'all gonna make me write your name down. See, do I gotta add somebody to the book of Negroes tonight?
All right, so that was an interesting dialogue. I think that's the few times where Umar is given a topic where he actually looks good. He sounds good. But okay, let's get here, family. Listen to this. Now, for you guys are new, if you guys are new within the last month or two, then you're not really familiar with me bringing up A. Philip Randolph, okay? So A. Philip Randolph, you're going to learn right now what he's about. Listen, just always remember the name A. Philip Randolph. Listen.
The Kennedy administration was worried that it made the United States.
I want you to hear read the title of the video, and then you want to hear it's coming from CNN, and this is the title of the video: SNCC legacy, right? So SNCC, that stands for Student Nonviolent Cooperative. The last one was what? I forgot. Student Nonviolent Cooperative Coalition. There you go. All right. So these are the young folks, younger than Dr. King and those folks.
Looked terrible, and they didn't want that kind of criticism.
And finally, only with the request of A. Philip Randolph, the man who had really called this march into being, John said later, I couldn't say no.
You heard that? A. Philip Randolph, he called the march. This is Dr. King's mentor. He's the one that told Dr. King, he's the one that gave Dr. King the idea to march on Washington. Because that was something, that was a dream, that was A. Philip Randolph's dream, to march on Washington, okay? Because he was always a civil rights activist in the 10s and 20s. He was fighting for labor rights, you know, for Foundation Black Americans. Italians joined them, and they got their labor rights through that. So it was like a Italian effort mixed with FBA, all right? Child labor laws. And again, to Italians, A. Philip Randolph. And then you got like the labor wage rights, right? And this is A. Philip Randolph was a immigration restrictionist. What that means is that he was against all immigration, no matter if it was African, European, or Arab. He was against immigration because he's seen it as folks coming over here competing with Foundation Black Americans for jobs, and our unemployment rate is already high. So like, why would we do that? Okay, but the name is A. Philip Randolph. Get used to it. I use that name a lot. But he's literally nicknamed the father of the civil rights movement. It's not even Dr. King, it's him. He's the one that mentored Dr. King.
No to Dr. Randolph. And so he
Shocked me in a way, because I thought, gosh, this is an angry John Lewis. And of course, we were all angry. The Kennedy administration was worried that it made the United States look terrible, and they didn't want that kind of criticism.
And finally, only with the request of A. Philip Randolph, the man who had really called this march into being, John said later, I couldn't say no to Dr. Randolph, and so he changed it.
To those who have said, be patient and wait, we must say that we cannot be patient. We do not want. Days later was a terrible bomb
to happen. The United States had never given all of the things that human beings need to do if they want to improve their condition.
This group of determined, brave, and courageous young people gave everything that we had to make America better.
The SNCC and its philosophy of not trying to build one charismatic leader to lead some movement, but actually to build leadership across the board in young women, young men of all different colors, classes, and educational backgrounds. I think that's SNCC's legacy.
Those people are a detriment to everybody.
I hate when the audio is janky.
Stop doing this shit. We'll go to Africa. He's crazy.
You know, some people are so much different. I feel so much.
And he can't be 100% black either. He can't be 100% black either. So like, they literally make our lives harder.
My name is Audrey. I'm part of Black World. I'm the lead writer currently for this academic year. I wanted to host a diaspora talk just because I felt there was a disconnection between a lot of the ethnic groups on campus. And I thought maybe having student representatives talk to you guys, our experts, part of the Africana Studies Department, would bring us into a further conclusion as to why a lot of these stigmas and problems are going on among us, and probably to a better solution. Because at the end of the day, we could all complain, but it's how can we solve all the problems that go on? Why I decided to host this talk as part of Black World. But if you guys could all go around, maybe say your year, maybe the organization you're working for, if you're a professor, just your expertise. For the students, your clubs, like I said, your major, get your name, of course.
Hello, everyone. My name is Chelsea Taylor. I'm currently a senior. My department is political science with international relations, and I am the head speaker of the House for Black Student Union.
Hi, my name is Melissa Perez. You could call me Melly. I am also on Black Student Union. I am another speaker of the House for the organization. I'm also Caribbean Student Organization's vice president, and I'm a biology major with a concentration in developmental genetics. And I'm a third year.
Hi guys, my name is Tanya Jean. I am a sophomore currently majoring in tech systems management with a minor in digital arts. And I am the social media rep for both CSO and NAACP.
Hello everyone, my name is Jalen. I am the secretary for Black Student Union. My major is African Studies and International Relations. And I am a junior.
Kaylee mentioned she's at work, so I guess I'll read her statement out loud. She said, "Hi, I'm Kaylee. I'm a junior health science major, and I'm the president for the Caribbean Student Organization, CSO." Now it's open to you guys, the professors, to introduce yourselves.
Okay, I am George Fouron. I'm from Haiti, and my research is on transnationalism. And what I study the connection that immigrants from the Caribbean, most especially from Haiti, continue to maintain with the homeland long after they had migrated to America, and in spite of the difficulties that Haiti has been going through for the past 40 or 50 years.
My name is Zebulon Miletsky, Dr. Zebulon Miletsky. I'm an associate professor. That means I'm a tenured professor in the Department of Africana Studies. And also affiliated with the history department as well. My work is kind of on two.
My fault, family. I'm looking down. I almost missed a super chat from SLLE44. Thank you very much. Motown Star says if the white man has been in it, don't send it. Let me give you a lineage wrench. By that comment, I'm assuming you are of the lineage, so you are a moderator. I wonder if old boy ever said anything earlier. Let me see. Let me look up. Let me see if old boy ever said anything. So I offer somebody a chance to speak to us. All right. It ain't mandatory. It's just a extension, right? Olive branch. But anyway, SLLE44. Lineage love and super chat for $5. I appreciate it, bro. Trust me, I'm gonna make use of it. I'm not gonna bash the lineage. You know what I mean? That shit gonna go something good.
STEMS, one where I started with my dissertation, and earlier work was on mostly on
All right. I don't know if this is where I want to be right now in the dialogue. Hold on. Let me get to the diaspora wars. This is supposedly it. Let me see. What are we doing here? They just talking about some
interracial marriage and mixed race studies. looking at racial passing and just racial mixed race identity.
Yeah.
And then over the years, I moved.
I guess they dealing with. Okay, all right. I see what's going on. Give me a second, family. I'm gonna make it more lit.
My dissertation was about Boston. I moved to looking just at the civil rights movement in Boston, civil rights and Black Power movements, freedom movement basically in Boston and in the North, and trying to understand African American movements outside of the South and the specialness of that and what all that entails in places that are supposed to be supposedly more free and open. But anyway, my book just came out on that, and that's about it for me.
Congrats.
Yeah, congrats.
Yes, thank you.
My name is Shimelis Gulema, originally from Ethiopia in East Africa. I completed my doctorate studies at UCLA, and then came here to teach contemporary African history and politics. So my area of specialization is history and politics, modern African history and African politics. I do research on migration, transnationalism, and we published
This discussion is taking place right now because
Italian studies here at Storybrooke published a book in 2018, which is a discussion about colonialism, post-colonialism, and transnational cultural exchange between
we need to be able to dialogue and have honest discourse about how we each feel. So I don't want you to walk away feeling like, you know, you're being bullied or jumped on for your position, because like I said, I understand the frustration. I grew up in America. I understand the frustration. I just separate and segment the European colonizers. And not all Europeans have colonialist ways, but they're not of my blood. So I separate them from those who are of my blood. And I said, you know what? We can sit down and we can talk about this, because we're all under the system of colonialism, just in different lands. So let's sit down and discuss. I want to give somebody else a chance to jump in.
Well, one last thing. I'm sorry. Please, one last thing, and then I'll drop down.
Absolutely, sister. Brother.
Well, one last thing, says the white man is
you're
also
hogging the floor, brother.
I'm gonna pass the mic to you after I say this.
Other
all right,
people
brother.
have opinions and thoughts.
All right, let me say one sentence. I'll pass the mic,
like
brother.
That's
not
dialogue between you and the sister.
I'm gonna say one comment.
To speak.
I'm gonna pass the mic to you after this. One sentence, brother. One sentence.
No. There is no. Wait. You
brother
talking.
Ashonda, don't you realize that the white man shares your blood too?
You
have to acknowledge that, Ashonda. The white man has your blood.
It's time for you to be quiet and allow others to speak.
Brother, do you want attention from her?
You're not the only
She's
one
married.
that has an opinion.
All right, so
quiet, young man.
Okay, guys. All right. Thank you so much. Thank y'all both so much.
Yeah, please, let's keep it respectful. And I'm gonna drop down. Please, let me just say this before I drop down. Ashonda, the white man shares blood with you too. That don't make him your family. Look at the Africans the same way. Peace. Thanks for having me up.
I understand that. Thank you so much for coming on, Brother Don P. Thank you very much.
All right. I'm going to let Minister tell you hit this one first before I say a word. All right. Shout out to my sister, Shonda. All right. My sister, you hung in there. You dealt with him professionally. Kudos. My ears are bleeding listening to that ninja. I'm serious. Oh, my goodness. And then this ninja, let me stop. Then he say he part Native American, won't admit that he part African, like he's, but then he want to claim being one of us, but he not acknowledging his African side, but he acknowledges his Indian side, and somehow he's American and Africa don't matter, while at the same time blaming Africans for colonizing us, stealing us, and sending us to the continent. Nigga, please. This dude, peer agent. That's what he is, all right? Just like Tariq Nasheed, the rest of them guys trying to sow division when our bloodline is Africa. Our people are African. Now, did some of us sell each other? Yeah. Look, the dude don't know history. That's his problem, part of it. Well, no, he's an agent. He's COINTELPRO, period. But assuming he don't know history, right? You got the Ashanti. Ashanti sold people, but guess what? The majority of people that were sent to Jamaica are Ashanti. The rest were Igbo. Guess what? Igbo sold Ashanti. Ashanti sold Igbo and other groups, other Israelite groups. We sold each other, nigga. I'm sorry, people. This is my hot spot.
Wait a minute. Is that meant to tell you, or is that your cover?
I'm sorry. I'm sorry. Look, we sold each other. The history proves it. Okay, that was part of the curses. Now the problem is these guys. If in the beginning, Sister Shonda asked him if he read the Bible. He barely said he acknowledged the Bible, so clearly that's not part of his understanding, right? So he doesn't give no credence to the Bible where we do. We acknowledge what has happened to us. We know why, all right? He's not looking at the history and understanding how this all happened. Look, certain tribes benefited from selling other tribes, but that didn't prevent their people from being sold as well. So, you know, you can't paint the whole continent as African and say, disregard all Africans because they sold us, right? You can't do that when many of us, our ancestry come from the same people who sold other groups, right? So it's understanding the history makes a difference. Then you'll realize it's, you know, our people didn't really sell each other knowing that we were going into chattel slavery. They sold their enemy on the battlefield, took them, kidnapped them, well, not kidnapped them, but as prizes from war, sold them to the white man, not realizing what chattel slavery even is, not understanding how brutal it was. They didn't know that. They try to use that against our people on the continent like they had understanding. All right. Yeah, they benefited a little bit from selling other tribes, but I guarantee you more than likely, if they understood what chattel slavery was, they wouldn't have did it. All right. So, this guy, Tariq Nasheed, even Phil Scott, them Negroes need to sit down and shut up because they don't understand history, or, and this is my opinion, they're pure COINTELPRO agents. Their job is to prevent us from connecting with the continent. Why? The colonialists know it's game over. It's game over when we join our people on the continent. The Most High said he bringing us back home where we were taken from. He didn't say he gonna keep us on this land where we came as slaves. See, these Negroes up here trying to sell us the idea that this place is our home. The very place that we've been slaves for 400 years is somehow our home. Nigga, please. I'm sorry. This is the game they running on us. They keep trying to sow confusion, telling us that this is our home. The land that we were slaves in, abused and raped, great, deleted. I got to use these words, right? They trying to convince us somehow we got a connection here. Look, one of the biggest things I ever told people, you know what, if this was our home, you know what would have happened? They would not have been able to hold us as slaves. I'll tell you why. Because if we were here and we had tribes and clans and whatever you want to call them, and my great-great-granddaddy, let's say, is the head of the so-and-so tribe, and you took me as a slave, but we're from here, my tribe, my family, my bloodline will war against you for generations till they got me back. That's how you know this ain't our homeland. Why? Because we would have known this land better than the white man. We would have been positioned to war against him until he set our people free. But guess what? When you take him from Africa and you take him to a land you don't know nothing about, you can't defend yourself. You can't protect yourself. You can't run to the safe place because you don't know the land, right? These guys don't run game on me like that. See, all that crap about America being our land, we wouldn't have been slaves if it was, because they couldn't hold on to us. It would have been impossible. Minister Yacob.
They didn't got Minister Tell You on fire. I thought I was listening to myself. Y'all see what y'all did? Anyway,
I'm sorry. This is my pet peeve, though. It is this type of talk. I'm sorry.
So we have the Foundation of Black Americans and we have ADOS, and they initially started with the idea of, reparations for, descendants of slaves in America only. Okay, I'll give you that, right? I'll give you that because, hey, America owes us. But then now they want to expand this whole thing and get on the Trump bandwagon and mass deportating people, right? Now, okay, you want to deal with the Mexicans and you want to deal with the Indians and you want to deal with the Europeans who are not American citizens, which they're not dealing with. I'm just saying, if you wanted to deal with that and you wanted to make that argument, okay. But here's the thing. Even if you make that argument about people who are let's say, for all purposes, descendants of African Israelites, even if you want to deal with those people, the Most High say, do unto others as you would have them do unto you. So personally, I wouldn't do it, right? Because if I was here and I was an immigrant, I wouldn't want to get kicked out because all I was doing was helping your economy. I might have been illegal. All I was doing was, growing your fruits and your vegetables, building your homes and your house. Did they take away jobs? Yeah, they took away jobs. I get it, right? But it wasn't them. It was the white man. Let's get it straight, right?
Yes,
just because somebody, yeah.
I forgot to talk about that one. Did y'all hear that, Ninja? I caused the demands on anybody that's illegal alien. If he a Haitian, if he a Canadian, if he a Caribbean, I'm gonna call Massa. I'm gonna call. You believe this dude? I'm gonna call Massa on y'all because it's gonna benefit my people. His mind is twisted.
What they say? Snitches get stitches.
I know that's right. Damn, go on. I'm like, look, I'm gonna tell you my experience with the Mexicans. Let's start there. They work hard. They contribute to the economy, and they do jobs that our people not doing no more. We not going.
We're not doing that.
We
ain't picking no fruits and vegetables, no cotton.
We not doing that no more. I'm sorry. We're gonna get on that nice little unemployment and take it. We're not going out in that field. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
We paid our dues.
Them days over, man.
400 years.
Them days over.
We're not doing that. Right? So then you get the better labor costs, like if you need construction assistance, they help with that. They weren't hurting as much as they were helping more than hurting. Why? Because the way this system was designed, it doesn't function without cheap labor, right? And we used to be the cheap labor. And that's the only reason the white man let them come in anyway, because they needed cheap labor. All right. So,
and they wanted to get us out of the economic system so they could put the black man in jail because the black man ain't had no job. So he had to sell drugs so they could,
that too.
Increase the prison industrial complex.
It could be complex. Yeah, it could be complex. Yeah, it's complex like that. Right. But I mean, in the end, they're not our problem. Right. They're not our problem. We know who our problem is. It's the Anglo-Saxons. Right. And that Anglo-Saxon label covers everybody that has German ancestry, the French, the UK, the Dutch, right? The Swedes, the Germans, right? That's all Anglo-Saxon. They all under that umbrella of Anglo-Saxon, right? If you want to label Esau under that umbrella or so-called Satanists under that umbrella, you could label them under that one title right there. Minister Yacob.
So to continue my point, even, this dude coming after, the Caribbeans, the Jamaicans, all this stuff, right? Straight up brothers and sisters that's like a few miles away from us. You know what I'm saying? I'm like, just because they got a different culture than we do in America, like they say, it just was one boat stop. That kind of bull crap ticks me off, right? So you gonna call the popo on people who look like us? Is you stupid? Right? Because as Sister Ashonda said, what's to stop them from coming for you? Oh, well, I'm an American citizen. Yeah, like that's a badge that's going to protect you. They coming for us. I've been saying that from the jump. I mean, these people so stupid that they think because they were born here that Trump is going to honor the Constitution when he has been dismantling the Constitution. Using birthright citizenship, the Insurrection Act, all these things. Is you stupid? Do you not see they're targeting us? Why you think they're getting rid of, financing schools and SNAP benefits and Medicaid and Medicare? Yeah, they're affecting their own, but at the same time, they're coming for us. How come you think that, you know, they're not financing, you know, black schools and stuff, and they call anything that's black history, you know, wokeism and CRT, right? Is you stupid? Do you think the fact that, you know, the Constitution, because Trump said, well, you know, the birthright citizenship was only supposed to apply to descendants of slaves. Everybody know that. But the whole thing is he's tearing down the pillars of protection. So when he does come for us, right, there's nobody left to speak up for us. We're going to be the last ones, because guess what? You ain't going to have no Mexicans to stand with you. Not saying they ever did, right? But my point being is, just as the old story of, you know, Germany, you know, I wasn't a unionist, so I didn't say nothing. I wasn't you know, a Swede, since I wasn't a Swede, right? I didn't say nothing. Then nobody was left when they came for me. You're going to be last. You're going to be last. Just as Sister Shonda said on her show about the 8 ball is left for last. You're going to be last, and you're too stupid to figure that out, right? I'm going to tell you, personally, I can't stand FBA. They're so freaking arrogant. I can't stand them, okay? ADOS is a little bit more palatable for me, but FBA is so arrogant. I can't stand Tariq Nasheed. I can't stand no FBA person. The anti-Bible, they arrogant as a mother F. And then, excuse me, but then, right, what they want to protect, think about what they're protecting. What they're protecting is the crumbs on the table.
Yep, the crumbs on the table.
Negroes fighting for the crumbs on the table while Master has the house, the car, the pool, the money, the land, and these Negroes fighting for the crumbs on the table. Oh, well, you know, the Mexicans might get some of my crumbs. But yet what we doing, we're fighting for unity, right? I'm a Pan-Africanist. Call me a Pan-Africanist, right? I'm a Pan-African Israelite. We are for unity, for the two sticks coming together. You know why? Because once we unite as a people, there's nobody who can stop us. There's nobody who can stop our rise. Just as the scripture says, we believe the Torah. We believe that all of this is prophetic. We believe that we're coming together as a nation of people, and that that the curses are off for us, and that we are rising. While these Negroes fighting for crumbs. Somebody make it make sense.
We win when we unite with the continent. We win, right? And a lot of our people on the continent understand we need each other. But when we join, that's the winning move. That's the winning move. And these guys are working to keep us from rejoining. You know how they globally paint all Africans with one word, African. What is an African then? Nigga, please. Give me a definition. You know? I mean, the very people our ancestors are from that's still on the continent. I got family over there. I don't know who they are, but I got blood family over there. So are you talking about my family too? That dude talking about your family, whether you know who they are today, you got blood connections, right? And that's what we trying to reconnect. And this whole thing about Trump and the whole 14th Amendment, he basically made us stand down. Oh, he said we good. He said the 14th Amendment just for us, so we could stand down and not worry. It's all gonna be ours. And he just saving you for last once he clean the streets. Once he clean the streets, he coming back for you. Come on now. The laws can be whatever they say they are. The laws are up to interpretation. The 14th Amendment is up for interpretation. And if you notice, Trump has the ability now, because of the Supreme Court, even with the 14th Amendment, he could say, you're against the United States because you are anti-Semitic. You're against those people. So because you're against those people, I'm kicking you out. Forget the 14th Amendment now. You're a threat to the government, so I can still kick you out. He can redefine all of these laws and use them however he wants. And that's what he's doing. That's what he's going to do. He's testing the waters. He's testing the laws. And guess what? Congress is backing him. The Supreme Court is backing him. Everyone's backing this dude, okay? So clearly he's testing the waters. The laws don't mean anything anymore.
Sister Shonda, how's it going? Welcome.
Shalom, shalom. Very interesting conversation today.
Oh yeah, look, Sister Shonda, we got to talk about this one. You handled them pretty good, but you was real nice. You know, I meant to tell you now. We ain't gonna be nice.
You
Well,
guys
you know
have got
what?
the Hebrew community on fire today. Like, wow.
And it's so crazy because on Shabbat, like, I was, kind of like thinking about, do I need to engage in this conversation? Because, with the Essence Fest and everything, this has been like the hot topic. And I wasn't going to, but then I just kept coming up in my feed and I had already recorded. So I said, I'm gonna go ahead and release it and let's have an open discussion. Then I remember that today was 7/14. It was the 14th of July, and the 7/14 movement is our 5-year anniversary of prayer initiatives that we've been doing. All of us, collectively have been praying for Yasharel. And so I thought about it. I was like, we need to have this discussion first. We need to be able to deal with the offenses before we enter into prayer. And so I did not want anybody who came on the panel to not feel heard and understood. And quite frankly, all the points that he made, as crazy and as ludicrous as they may sound, and I do believe that they're very ludicrous in terms of how he handles his disagreements and his disparage against Caribbean and continental Israelites. He is holding the talking points that many FBA have. And I'm hoping that we can get to a point where we engage in dialogue to where we can get to reconciliation and forgiveness, because scripture mandates that we love one another. Ezekiel 37 about us coming together. I know it's frustrating, especially like I said over and over again, me coming from both sides, being Black American through my father, being born in America, but also having a West Indian background from the Caribbean. That's the major part of my influence was Caribbean in America. So I understand both sides. And quite frankly, I feel like, when he took the position that he did, where he talked about calling ICE on our brothers and sisters, I'm like, are you serious? I think that analogy that you used with the plantation is a perfect example. You're going to our oppressor to tell on our brothers and sisters just because they're not born here. What kind of craziness is that? The oppressors they did not legally get America. They colonized it. And the same way they go all over the world. So you're doing the work of the enemy while you're saying that you're doing on behalf of our people. And I just disagree with that. But yeah, I just want to get my little 2 cents in. Shalom, Yah is very real. I was actually asking him to be on the panel because he is from the UK and I wanted to hear his perspective, but I'm glad that you're on here today.
Shalom, Sister Shonda. Shalom, the Taylor twins. Thank you guys for having me.
What's up, Dan? How's it going?
Shalom, everyone. Is my mic good?
Yeah, sound good.
Sounds good. Shalom to everyone else on the panel. Thank you, Ashanda, for inviting me to that panel. I joined it, during the last, I would say the last maybe hour of it. And the conversation, I was losing my mind at that Pan Mulatto guy. I was, let me just say something. I'm not racist, guys, but there's something about these mulattoes that we don't know about. Like, when, I don't know what it is. It's like, when you have these people who have one white parent and one black parent, they're like they're a confused people. They're always confused. Like, it's very rarely that I meet like a mixed race like individual who's like very sound minded and doesn't have like internal conflict in some shape or regard. But this guy, like, the way I was listening to him, first of all, the title Pan Mulatto in itself is a joke. It's just a joke. Like, I don't know what his objective is there. Like, what does he want to unite every single mulatto person in the world and like create like confused convention or something? I don't know what he wants to do with that. And then you have like his his FBA mindset. This guy's he's a modern day Uncle Tom. He's a modern day Uncle Tom. He's the type of guy who would snitch on the slaves who are trying to escape the field.
Yeah,
exactly. He would tell the master, they're trying to burn your house down. That, you know, I don't know why he has an obsession with Babylon so much to the point where he would snitch on people who were coming to this place to at least try and better their situation. It's asinine to me. The fact that he would call, and the fact that he believes that his American identity and his American his American citizenship is a barrier for him not being. He's silly. That's foolish. That's the most foolish thing you can ever think of. You think a piece of paper, you think a passport is going to stop them from doing what they want to do to you? They see nothing else but your skin color. Go ahead, Taylor.
Did he remind you of Samuel L. Jackson?
Oh my!
We gotta burn them sheets, master.
Head.
You gonna let him sleep in that bed?
Yes, master. But all I could see was Samuel L. Jackson going, "No!" I could just hear massive. No. Oh my gosh. Top grade coon. Like, that guy is an Uncle Tom and a half. I'm sorry. I don't want to get, like, you know, too ad hominem with it, but I'm sorry. A coon is a coon, and Uncle Tom is an Uncle Tom, and we know him when we see him. That was one of them. And another thing I want to address is this stupid FBA mindset that a lot of Americans have. Like, Jacoby, you were saying it earlier in the live that you have a strong contention with what's it called, FBAs, and I agree. We've had discussions about this before. I really don't like FBAs. They have this mindset that for some reason that they're completely removed from the African continent and they have nothing to do with the people there because of the 400 years of slavery and everything. And you know, I'm not gonna lie, some of the talking points that these FBAs do have are legitimate, such as, you know, the claim to reparations, even though we know biblically that it's not for Pharaoh to give us reparations, for the Most High to do that for us. We know that obviously, yeah, they have a legitimate claim to want reparations for their slavery, right? It's a fair claim, but they claim this righteous claim into a form of indigeneity. Like, they suggest they make the claim as if they grew out of the American soul and they have no connection to everyone else. Like, let me pose FBAs who are watching this a question, right? Were the children of Israel who were born in Egypt no longer Hebrews? Were the children of Israel who were born in Babylon no longer Hebrews? Were the children who were born in the Assyrian captivity no longer Hebrews? Did their generations of bondage in a foreign land suddenly sever their connection to Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob? No, because it was a captivity, just like America. Just like the experience of the black man in America. To claim that your land of the captivity is your origin and your homeland is an amputation of your history. And another thing I need to address, there are so many things I need to address with the stupidity that guy said, so I want to make it quick. I'm sorry, guys, but like, I was just watching it and I was boiling with rage. I should have been there, Ashanda. I'm sorry, I should have been there. But let me go on. Let me talk about this false dichotomy that needs to be addressed within the Israelite community, and specifically with that Pan Mulatto guy. This stupid Semite versus Hamite dichotomy that exists, right? Believing that all Africans are Hamites, right? And all Black Americans are Semites, and therefore you guys are completely removed, and you guys are completely two ethnic groups who are removed from each other.
That's another pet peeve of mine. Go ahead.
It hurts my brain. It really does. It's the most asinine generalization ever, right? Number one, Shem and Ham were brothers. Shem and Ham were brothers. You guys let me walk you through this. The Cushites are a black group who are removed from each other. The Cushites descend from Cush. This makes Cush black. It hurts my brain. Cush would be a black man. Cush descends from Ham. Asinine generalization. This makes Ham a black man. Number one, if Ham, Shem, and Japheth, if Ham is black and Ham, Shem, and Japheth are brothers, if Ham is completely removed, what color would the Cushites are a black group who are removed from each other? The Cushites descend from They would be black. This just like their brother hurts my brain. Cush would be a black man. Kush is the most. I know that a lot of people say that, you know, it is true that the Europeans come from Japheth, and obviously the thousands of years removed on genetic population. You know, if Ham is mutation, we want to call it Cushites, or we can go into the whole white man. They would be black. Addressing the whole genetic of the world, they were really black, and the descendants of the I know that a lot of people say that, you know, if Ham is if Ham is the Israelites, Ham is the to call consciousness, getting back to the whole white people addressing children happening with the poor, happening to the international souls and China, they were very on that far away.
Are telling the truth. Now, which one? Who is the one you going to believe? Are you going to believe God? Or are you going to believe? Because I just Father Yah. Or which one are you going to believe? I said we were scattered, Judah, to the four corners of the earth. I said we would. It was prophesied that we would be in the land of our enemies. We are in the land of our. This is not our land. We're indigenous to here. We're a new ethnogenesis. I was like, no. The scripture said we will be in the land of our enemies. I remember when Minister Yacoba did that. Minister Yacoba, you did that 4th of July thing. You did that 4th of July on Independence Day, and that stuck with me even to this day. And I invite people to in the listening audience to go back and find that. And Minister Yacoba was talking about how we're in the land of our enemies. So how can we be in the land of our enemies and the Most High Yah said we're going to be in the land of our enemies, but yet we indigenous to here, and then this is our home, and we done took on a new ethnogenesis. Them FBAs, Tariq Rashid, and all the other folks.
That's how you know they work for the enemy.
Yes,
right? Because the obvious, they don't acknowledge the obvious, right?
Right.
They're pushing anything to keep us away from the continent because it's game over once we go back.
Yeah, and I was like, yeah, they got to be agents, So I go back and forth with these folks, and I tell them, no, this is not our land. I'm sorry, no, you're a liar. Why you gonna call me a liar? Because you're lying. I said, I'm not gonna allow you to lie on the Most High. I said, well, I'm gonna believe you. I'm gonna believe the Most High. I said, the main problem with you FBAs and you ADOS and whatever you are, you don't have no Bible, and you don't understand history, and you don't understand the Word of God, and you don't understand prophecy. So that's that's my thing is. So that's why when the snippet that you played earlier with Sister Shonda, I was like, yeah, same old thing. They don't know history. They don't. Matter of fact, you know what, Jacoba, they don't even want to believe it. They posturing. I shouldn't say all, but the majority of them, they don't want to believe the Word of God. And most of them are reprobate because they got other agendas. Their God is their belly, and they just make me sick. So that's all I really had to say. But I had to come on here, man, because Mr. Tay, you had me dying laughing over here, man, at work. I appreciate you, Jacoba. You're my man. We'll talk.
Let me ask you a question right quick before we move on, Brother Bruce.
Mm-hmm.
So how come these Christians are talking about all of this stuff that's happening, the prophecies, all this stuff, right? They act like it don't exist.
You know what? I was thinking about that the other day. Because they've been so indoctrinated with Eurocentric Christianity that they don't. Most of them don't have a hunger for the truth. Instead of calling a spade and saying amen to what's wrong, or if I'd be the first to admit when I was understanding some scripture the wrong way, and Minister Tayu and Minister Jacoba, they showed me the error of my ways and what the scriptures meant and so forth. And I ain't no follower, others from the other channel talking about those your pastors. I laugh and they're like, yeah. I said, no, it's iron sharpen iron. And if I can see that I'm in error, then I'm gonna accept error. I'm gonna do the correction, go before the Lord, and see if it's true. And I'm gonna search this thing out to see if it's true. And if you can't humble yourself to see when you're in error, then you are not in it for truth. You're just in it for self, and you want to lord over people. So no, man, they don't want to. A lot of them don't want to see it. COVID. They don't want to see it. A lot of them are reprobate. They're gonna talk about, hey, why don't you just pray for them? No, it's like what's Sister Deborah did who did the White House series. She was on yesterday, man, and that's I hope I don't get in trouble for saying that, but she was telling this one person that was in there talking about you need to pray for them. And he was like, no, we don't pray for our enemy. We pray for the enemies that they were talking about. Pray for your enemies was Israel. She said you ain't gonna. David ain't gonna pray for Goliath. And Samson and all that. I was like, no. No, they are our enemies. And what David said, I love what God loved, and I hate what God hate. So I'm paraphrasing. So yeah, man, they don't want to know. But I do know that. See, that's why the Holy Spirit is real, because when you got brothers like us, all of us on the panel, Sister Shonda, Mr. Tayu, and all of us, we got the Holy Ghost. We got the Ruach HaKodesh, and when we see error, when we hear error, we're like all on one accord. We're like, no, that don't line up with the Word of God. That don't line up with prophecy. Now we may disagree on some things, but we can come back together and talk about it. But like this FBA, we can tell that's a plot of the enemy to keep the two sticks from coming together. We're like, nah, man, we ain't, and we're ignorant of Satan devices. So yeah, that's really all I had. I appreciate you guys. Later.
Thank you, Brother Bruce. Appreciate it.
Yep.
Let me comment before I come to you, Brother Brian, from this camp member, King Shaq Yahuda, got to be a camp member. This channel is all about fleeing to create a Liberia 2.0. We ain't never say create a Liberia 2.0. Is you ignorant? you probably don't even follow this channel. What we do teach is that the Bible says we're going to flee. Is you ignorant? Are you a deceiver or an agent? Which
The
one?
Bible
You
also says,
you probably can't remember, but go ahead, Mr. T.
the Bible also says we have to leave in order for the Most High to judge Babylon, Mystery Babylon the Great, the mother of harlots. So we believe the Bible. You camps don't. But you know, I truly believe y'all One West people are COINTELPRO anyway, so it don't matter.
Oh yeah, they all COINTELPRO, exactly. Brother Brian, how's it going?
Shalom, family. How y'all doing today?
Doing good.
First off, I'd like to commend Sister Shonda for her meekness and her humility, because I couldn't have done it. It's just no way.
She did it well. I'm telling you, she was great. I couldn't do it.
It's no way possible. I would have got kicked off of our show because I would have said some stuff. I mean, tremendously. I mean, honestly, I would have said some things. And if I would have been, I'm not no bad guy or nothing like that. But if I would have been there personally, we would have ended up moving some furniture. Honestly, it would have been something. It would have been some things happening. And as far as
I was glad that Brother Don P stepped up. Brother Don P stepped up. Shout out to him, but go ahead.
Right. And as far as us falling back on the Constitution, why don't the FBAs go ask an indigenous Native American if they can find one that's not whited out? Go ask them about those 400 peace treaties that got wiped out. Whatever happened with those? They all got basically torn up in their face. So the Constitution can get rewritten again, with the stroke of a pen. So therefore, you can't rely on that. And then also as well, like Minister Teyu was saying, he was mentioning about, I don't think they understand how the travel route went. Or if they did, I mean, it doesn't take a genius to realize the route of travel from the way the transatlantic slave trade, how the ships travel. Our bus stop was basically one of the last bus stops. So therefore, it tells you had the Caribbean. You had the Caribbean before us. So we all primarily originated from the point of no return. So we were all basically in the same area. So how can you hate against your brothers, sisters, cousins, or whatever, however you want to call it, but your conglomerate group of family members, and you hate against them? And as far as a snitch, no, I don't deal with snitches. I was raised not to deal with a snitch. I could never deal with a snitch. And what did Yahshua say about a snitch? What did he say about Judas? So I can't ride with him. I could never ride with that dude. I could never ride with people that think like that. I don't want to have nothing to do with people like that. Period. Point blank. And ain't no making no amends. It's none of that. You stay on your side of the street. I'm gonna stay on my side of the street. I don't want to talk to you at all. Period. And I'm gonna land my plane there.
And
Go
why
ahead.
that guy hovering in our community? Because I seen him on Brother Karras before Ashonda. He's hovering around our community, but he doesn't even believe he's an Israelite. Why? Because he don't even know the Bible, so he don't believe the Bible. So why is he hanging around? He's causing confusion and making a lot of static noise to keep our people confused. That's the job.
Brother Yacoba, I want to just interject real quick. I won't snitch on someone. We have to be careful about this this hate that we're giving our, the Hispanics. Now, I'm not like, I don't believe in the Black Brown coalition or whatever, but what
I don't either.
No, I don't believe in that coalition. But what you do, what you sow, you will reap. So at some point,
that's my favorite scripture, my brother. You reap what you sow is my favorite scripture of all time.
Right. So this thing may come back around where we're asking them to help us. So we better be careful. Just like when the Israelites was trying to get through and get through the land, and they sent guys ahead to say, hey, can we go through your land? We won't take any of your food. Whatever we do, we'll repay you. And they said no. We have to be careful that we don't become who we're fighting against. So we better be careful about all this hate we're giving toward those brothers, because we may turn around and have to use and need them again.
Look,
That's the FBAs doing that, right? The FBAs are getting louder because they got more support from YouTube and TikTok, allowing them to be heard, not allowing us to be heard, right? We not going against them. What the heck we care about? Whether or not the Mexicans work here. I mean, we don't have a problem with them. I mean, we know who our enemy is. We know who blocking our success. We know who blocking our opportunities at jobs and money. It ain't them.
Who did Ali say our enemy is?
There you go.
I was gonna make a post on your Facebook page this week, but I don't know why I didn't do it. But I want to know, and this is I'm gonna land my plane here. I'll be totally done. But where did this FBA start from? I don't have a clue. I don't deal with short bus communities and conversations and. Really? Because I don't even know what they believe in. I never researched them or anything because it's short bus retarded stuff to me. So I never looked it up. So I never knew what it was about.
Tariq is a Sambo. That's what he is, right? He's a plant.
They sound like MAGA.
Is it a religion? Is there some type of religious belief behind it? I mean, I don't even have a clue what it's about.
It's a political movement. It's a political movement.
Really?
That's all it is. Yeah.
Okay, because I had no clue what that was about.
Yeah,
oh,
but
wow.
Tariq
Okay.
Nasheed moves with an agenda, right? And he's not tied toward anything biblical at all, right? More than likely, he's an atheist, all right? And Phil Scott rolling with him on that. And Phil Scott, I'm pretty sure he's peer FBA right now, even though he supports IUIC. But you got to watch Phil Scott. He moves just like Tariq Nasheed.
Well, people need to really research Tariq Nasheed because I know people from Detroit. They don't even have a clue about that dude. I'm gonna land my plane there. They don't know nothing about that guy. They need to research that guy and who he really is and know who they riding with.
You can tell he's an agent because what's it called in 2009?
It's a reason why he turned into an agent. They need to research what he's about. He had to turn into an agent. He did some stuff.
100%.
And what the people do in the 90s. You think about what our people did in the 90s, but I'm gonna stop there.
I said in 2011 he created a documentary film called Hidden Colors: The Untold History of People of Aboriginal, Moor, and African Descent. But now in today's day and age, he's an FBA and wants nothing to do with the Africans. So in 2011, he was making documentaries covering African history, covering Moor history and Aboriginal history, but 14 years later, he's on a complete opposite side of the spectrum and now has nothing to do with Africans and wants nothing to do with them and has a movement promoting Black Africanism and Negro culture, as he likes to call it, and stuff like that. So I just find that interesting to me how
but what I'm saying is documented. What I'm saying is no speculation. This is all documented. But what our people fell from in the 80s and the 90s, he was involved in big time, and some stuff happened, and so he had to basically turn to what he turned to. I don't say he had, but he did to keep from going on a long vacation. And I'm gonna land my plane there.
And you can add, in my opinion, you can add Dan Calloway to that because he's one of those indigenous.
Over
definitely. Here, the Indians and things of that nature. And I think he's
all the pretendians, right? They got to be government out. But let's move on to Brother Robert. Brother Robert, thanks for your patience.
Hey, how you doing?
All right, how's it going?
I'm doing good. Yeah. Them FBAs, they don't believe in the word at all.
Nope.
The Genesis explains it, that we'd be in a land that's not ours. And that the Most High would be taking us out of here. The second Exodus, or the gathering, or whatever you want to call it. And that's what I'm looking forward to. So, but the confusion part comes in is with these people saying we're pretendians, we're Indians. And I heard that in my family too, but that doesn't make it out. So there may have been some admixture sometime in the past, but then you also got to look at the history. The history is that we were the Buffalo Soldiers hunting those guys. And those guys had us in slavery. So when you put it, the whole history up there, it doesn't look too good for those FBAs. But anyway, I just wanted to make a little short synopsis on that. All it is a ball of confusion. That's it.
Yeah, definitely.
All right,
Thank you, Brother Robert. All right. Lady J.
Hi, everyone.
Hello.
Oh, shalom, family. You know, that was so disappointing to hear and very hard on the ears to listen to, because one doesn't need to open their mouth to be picked up by ICE. They just look at the color of you and you can be taken.
Yep.
And for him to say that he would report anyone, it's taking us back to a time that certain people will not ever allow us to forget. And he would have been one of those that would tell.
Yeah, I know there's a lot of cool stuff here. A Pombo Kelly, listen, brother, when you ask a question, man, and you want me to answer, I don't answer private questions, right? You ask the question publicly on a chat, then we got to get the answer publicly, and I need interaction because people can learn with you. All right, so yeah, no, so you don't got to write me books. I didn't. Your last comment I didn't even read, bro. I'm just being real with you. I don't read books. I'm trying to tell you how it goes. Right. You asked me a question from the chat. This is content, bro. This is content. I'm live. I want people to tune in and be educated. Okay. So I don't want to privately type something to you. You asked a question that other folks might want to learn about as well. So if you're not available to click the link, just say that. Then we'll do it tomorrow then. But I know you're not going to convince me to give you a private answer when I think more people can learn from it publicly. All right. So now stop asking me for a block your ass. All right. So that's the bottom line, bro. I'm a public content creator, and I do public content so it can be public. You get it? So I don't do private shit, bro. If you want to ask a private question, you email me at blackthinktank@yahoo.com. Everything spelled correctly. blackthinktank@yahoo.com. Okay. But if you ask me something public in the chat, don't expect a private answer. Now I expressed myself. I tried to explain that in the chat, and you still kept going. So now leave it alone, or I'm gonna block you. Okay, that's the only option. Ask the question when you're available to join the live. All right, because a lot of your questions be suspect. I don't see them as genuine. Like you're borderline troll to me. You're still in the proving grounds, my boy. That's why you ain't got a wrench. Okay. People that got a wrench, they're official. So now for wrench holders, ask me a question in the chat. I'll answer in the chat. But anybody without a wrench, no, you ask a question, it's going to always be on the live. Either you call in or click a link. All right. So no, okay. So I'm gonna time you out. Okay. So here's your problem now. All right. So here's your problem. I'm gonna time you out for 30 minutes. If you come back running your mouth, I'm gonna time you out for 24 hours. So we ain't gonna talk to you till 11:40 p.m. Eastern time tomorrow. So now you got a 30-minute timeout. You don't tell me what to do, little boy. Okay? You bring your goofy ass on my live so I can embarrass you like I always have done. You're a student. You're a little boy. Okay? Every time you come on the live, I embarrass you. So I understand why you don't want to click the live. Because it's always an embarrassing moment for you. Okay? And I want to do it again with that dumbass question. So now you're timed up for 30 minutes. If you come back running your mouth, I'll see you 12 a.m. tomorrow. It'll be a 24-hour timeout. And then you run your mouth tomorrow, 12 a.m., I'm just going to block you. All right? You don't have a wrench. You don't have that right. The wrench is for the people of the lineage. they can ask me a private question in the chat, and I'll answer it in the chat. But for you unrenched people, no, you don't get that privilege. There's no perks for you. Okay, you're a foreigner as far as I'm concerned.
Hell, if you had someone hiding in your attic.
Yep.
And to think, you know, it's like having, well, what did the word say?
And while we at it, you too, Father Ja, you said FBA cults. If you talk like that again, you're out of here. Right. So I don't mind you saying that, but just be prepared to defend it as you say it. So there's a real quick rule here, okay? Don't say anything anti-FBA-ish if you're not prepared to defend it on the live right away. Okay, only say that anti stuff when you're prepared to defend it. But if you busy, you out there with the wife and kids, and you have some hateful shit, that'll get you blocked. So don't say it until you're ready to squabble, basically.
That we have more to fear within than out. And I know churches use that verse speaking about congregations, but as a people, as a nation, we can use that same verse. Because to think your own can turn you in. But if he's listening to this, he better know that even in the UK.
Yeah, I don't know what this lady talking about. I'm gonna definitely fast forward her. All right. Yeah. All right.
But just to tell you, I want you to respond to this. Our people been in this land. They call America for 30,000 years.
This is what I'm talking about. This is why it's a pet peeve, because it's gaslighting. They make the obvious and turn it into
thanks, because he's good. Amen.
Amen. Thank you, Sister Stacey. So let's get final comments, Brother Den.
I mean, yeah, I've said what I needed to say in regards to the mulatto guy. You know, I just don't like Uncle Toms. I don't like agents. I don't like people who, you know, like, I just don't. The fact that you would call that's just the thing I can't get over. The fact that he willingly gloated that he caused ice on people. Like, that's just man, that's just like scum of the earth behavior. But yeah, I don't want to dwell too much in that. I wanted to talk about maybe one or two comments I saw before I leave. Venice Space said that this conversation was been divisive, and I disagree with that. I believe that, like, you know, most of us, I'm pretty sure, as a matter of fact, all of us in this call have been on one accord. You know, we know that we don't take the position of what the Pan-Mulatto guy said at all, and I don't really think this is divisive at all. Like, I feel like, if anything, this has been edifying, because we now know how to, you know, we at least we've shown the audience what an agent looks like. We've shown the talking points. We've shown how they operate. We've shown, you know, why it's wrong, why the mindset is incorrect. You know, we've looked at it scripturally as well. So I don't think this has been a divisive conversation at all. I think it's been a very good conversation, and, you know, I enjoyed it a lot. And one more comment that I wanted to address was cut from a different cloth's comment, and he said that he's witnessed many Black people in the UK and Africa talk about bad about Black Americans, but you could say the same about any race of people and any ethnic group. You know, you can't say, like, we can't use that as an excuse for us not to unite as a people, because Black Africans and Black UK people and, like, Black Americans talk bad about each other. Like, you don't see what's it called, Polish people and Russians fighting wars on end just because they don't like each other. You know, at the end of the day, if there was a race war right now, you know, the Polish, the Ukrainians, the Russians, they would all be on one side. The Bulgarians, they wouldn't care. All of their the division between them would immediately settle overnight. Nothing would matter. It would be black against white. So this nonsense narrative about, oh, we can't join together because, you know, we see each other in different lights and we insult each other, it's just wrong. A lot of these insults and these conversations are being had online spaces. In real life, America gets a lot of love. Like, you know, I mean, you guys are on the world stage. You guys are the reserve currency, the world reserve currency. Everything revolves around America. I mean, you know, we're constantly seeing you guys news in our timeline. We have no reason to hate you guys. You know, we saw the massive oppression that you guys went through.
Oh no, you got hella reasons to hate. But let me warning, family, warning. This is potential gaslighting. Let's see.
Like low key, I feel like American and then the
Okay, this is an Eritrean man.
Eritrean society is different because if you're in America, you're by yourself. But when you're here, there's people that can help you, and that you're not alone. You have a community behind you. Everyone here is brothers and sisters, no matter what. America is you have to do something to gain someone's trust, or they're just for them to care about you. And so when I take that back to America, I want to explain to not even my friends, but my future kids that like you have a background. You don't have to be lost. Like a lot of Americans, they don't know who their grandfather is, who their parents are. Like, and so it's good to have like a good.
So we've heard this.
Okay, so let me pick up where he's gonna go. Okay, so why did they make up that lie? Yo, we have better records to trace our mothers, fathers, grandmother, grandfather, great-grandmother, great-grandfather, great-great. We have better records intact than most. Outside of Europeans, we are second best. Like Europeans got their stuff down packed, but we are second best. Like I'm gonna say globally, as far as documentation tracking our ancestors. So like this lie, this primitive lie. By the way, Africans are they're at the bottom as far as tracing their lineage and writing systems. I know we believe a lot of Wakanda shit, but Africa largely has always been very illiterate. Okay? Largely, even ancient time, largely the whole entire continent, largely they've been illiterates. Okay? So, but this Wakanda shit will have you believe in something else. So for them to say that if they were not illiterates, that means they got written records, right? They can read where they migrated to, where they went here. Nah, like they get all that from Europeans and the Greeks. The Greeks, you know, but they themselves, they don't have no documentation, nothing. Like they pass down traditions and stuff like that orally. And you know how that works, right? Orally. You know, one story is, yeah, your mom had a mother and father, and he had six wives. That's orally passed down. Okay, that's given to a cousin. And that was 9 wives. And another person, that was 2 wives. You feel me? Like that's their tradition. It's orally passed down, where stuff just gets sloppy and people add to for drama. People take out because they like that person a lot. You feel me? That's their tradition. Ain't no documentation on their culture. It's a bunch of bullshit. It's undocumented. They were not literate like that to write it down. But listen, this is viewer discretion advised. This might be some gaslight clickbait. Let me see what this is. Family, let's see what this is together. Then I go back to the guys, to the diaspora wars. But this might be clickbait.
All right.
Warning.
Welcome back. Journalist or whatever, public figure, YouTuber, and you want to deal with Black Americans, and you have 30% or 40-50% of Black men complaining, seriously complaining, and these complaints lead to destroyed families. It leads to often people getting hurt and unalived. It leads to the absence of family. You're talking about Black women going single, the most single, not getting married. Talking about.
So I believe this is a tether, but let me get to the point. It's a long, goofy video. Let's get. Who knows what he's talking about? Just random anti-FBA babble.
Content saying that I'm gonna give him his flowers while he's still here. Does not criticize Black women at all. Do you understand? women at all. Black women have.
Okay, so for some reason, you got a lot of Pan-Africanists, a lot of Black nationalists, and a lot of tethers who are obsessed with Tariq Nasheed on some old lovers of men type shit, like some zesty, sassy stuff. They are obsessed. They really believe if they take down Tariq Nasheed, they take down the entire lineage. This is what they believe in their sick, primitive, third world country, pooping in the streets minds. They really think, primitive thinking. They really think if, hey, we take down Tariq Nasheed, FBA disappears. Like, okay. So listen to this foolishness.
Weave. They have wigs on. Okay, he doesn't question how they leave their kids' fathers at a record rate.
Now, just to let you know, this video got no views. So the day and time where tethers just could mention FBA in the title and it goes crazy, well, that's drying up. Like, people are getting tether fatigue. So this guy got Tariq Nasheed in the video, FBA, ADOS. He got everything in the title of the video. And this video went nowhere. It went double wood. This thing did just as good as Tyler sells. You dig? This was a horrible video. No views. It didn't work. Putting FBA and ADOS in your title. Sorry, buddy. People are caught up. They know it's clickbait. They know it's a nothing burger. So yeah, go ahead and just cry in the corner. Your video got no views.
How they destroy Black families. Kevin Samuels made a talking point of it. They destroy homes. A home wreck. Look at the title of this stream. I'm telling you, Black men are more we are more motivated by the truth, and the truth.
Okay, so this guy on some red pill, blue pill shit. Yo, the red pill community, that's another nothing burger. Like, that came and gone. Like, come on, dude. The red pill arguments. Like, stop.
It has 1,016 comments. The video, they can only watch the first half and be like, oh, this is stupid, move on. But when they leave a comment, you know they've listened to it. 100 has more.
Now, family, what I do, people like this with no views, I give them a chance. I say, all right, I got way more views than you. My chat be way more lit. I got real supporters. You don't. I'm part of a great lineage. You're not. And I give them a chance to like shine. I say, hey, man, I'm writing right now. Brother, will you be willing to join my podcast to speak about this? Okay, so I just made a quick little comment. Hey, brother, will you be willing to join my podcast to speak about this? So this is what he's talking about. And their family, normally they say no. Like, I contact many people a day to try to bring so many people who hate on FBA ADOS and just make weird videos, obsessed with us. I'm like, yo, man, I will give you what you want. You want clout? You got no videos. You got no views. I got way more views than you. Okay, let's put you where the views are at. Let's put you with a lit chat. You dig? And 9 times out of 10, they say no. But they got all the smoke for us when we're not around. I'm like, all right, bro, like, they act like we're face to face. Bro, we're on a computer. There's nothing, I'm no threat to you, my man. And they will say no, like, as though we're face to face. Just cowards, man.
More comments. And keep in mind, this is primarily Black men. Primarily Black men leaving comments. What does that mean? What does that mean? And remember, on kind of commentary, it's only Black men. That means Black men, a single demographic, is outdoing comment sections that include everyone. Black men have more to say and are more motivated than spaces that have Black men and Black women, and really all other races. But yet these videos have a higher engagement rate. And you see the title, Divesting Gone Wrong. Brad beats on divestors as if he's preparing for the UFC. On these divestment channels. Okay. Here's another video by Tariq. The fatherless black culture narrative, a racist lie. Again, I chose this video because it's a video speaking very highly of black women. It's a video that black women will flock to. And what you're seeing here is that these types of videos don't even motivate black women as much as the raw truth motivates black men. Because we are outdoing their engagement still, despite the fact that they include black women, speaking highly of black women, and everybody else is allowed to engage. And this one is absolving black women, giving them a pass for really everything that they've done that has destroyed black communities. And that is the mass and cultural leaving of their kid's father, removing their kid's father from their life, has turned into a culture that's accepted among black women. In this video, he's basically giving cover to that, and not even that motivated black women as much as the truth. Look at how many comments it has. 392 comments. Comments, again, are valuable. It gives more credit to the video than the views. Imagine a video with 100,000 views but 10 comments compared to a video with 10 views and 30 comments. What video moved people more? What video has more potential? What video or content has more momentum is what that's telling you. Now, 41,000 views, 392 comments. Compare that to Accountable Commentary's video he uploaded 2 months ago with 9.8 thousand views. 9.8 thousand views. Tariq's video with 41,000 views has 392 comments. Accountable Commentary's video has 359 comments. With black men alone.
My fault, family. I'm sorry to bore you, but you had to witness this male obsession for Tariq Nasheed. It's sick. And this man would say he's heterosexual. So he has a hatred for FBA women, and he has this obsession for a man named Tariq Nasheed. I mean, that's just sad, man. It's sad. And he'll say he's heterosexual. That's sad, man.
You know, we see you as our brothers. So there's no reason for there to be any animosity between black UK diaspora people, black.
Oh, I was gonna say that. And he's one of those pocket watchers as well. Thank you. Darrell Williams and pocket watch. He's mad that I just can't relate to that. You're mad at somebody else for getting things popping because you can't. I mean, that means that online content is just not your thing. You're probably great at something else. Content creation just ain't it. but that don't give you the right to hate on somebody else. That's just weird to me.
Africans and Black Americans at all. So yeah, I just wanted to land the plane there. Thank you for inviting me to the panel, and this was a great conversation.
So a quick question for you then.
Oh yeah, go ahead.
Didn't Joseph's brothers talk about him? Didn't they have a problem with him? But they were family. I'm like, you can't be cutting off the family just because one of your family members talking about you.
Absolutely. There are several instances in the Bible where family are beefing with each other. You have even Yahushua gave the what's it called? The prodigal son example. What's that? The parable. There you go. The parable. And even in the parables there would be family division. It was throughout the Bible. It's a part of life.
And so as a Black people, even though we might not know who are the snitches and the Judases, we will know through our fruits and through the word of God as to who we all are to each other. Because one thing I've experienced time and time again is that you always know another child of God when you meet them. And so, always.
ICE snatched up that TikTok influencer, Tatiana, the influencer that kept on doxing them right up on her live stream. You see, when you F around, you find out. Now, the clout chaser, let's see how much clout she gets when she get back to her home country. I wish you all the success. I know how hard it is to build an audience. I know how hard it is, and that's why people gotta chase clout, because they want to speed up the process. Now, they had them boots on your neck, and you crying for help. And did your clout help you? Nope. You got a one-way ticket back to your home country. So good luck.
Yeah, they got that tether upside down.
Y'all ready for this?
Isn't that
ICE
Diana
agents
Ross
literally had to
song?
drag a screaming illegal
Upside
alien
down.
influencer,
Turn.
yes, that's a thing,
They had that dog
out of her car
upside
after she
down.
resisted arrest. And somehow the internet is acting like she's the victim. No, really, you cannot make this stuff up. We're not living in reality anymore. We're living in a TikTok clown world where breaking the law gets you brand deals and screaming at ICE is treated like some civil rights protest.
It is the largest immigration raid against any employer since President Trump took office. Yesterday, federal agents targeted nearly 100 7-Eleven stores across the country, including a handful in Dallas.
Henna Doba joins us now live. And Henna, the immigration debate really heating up now. So what happened during yesterday's raids and what's next?
What you're seeing now is the largest immigration raid against any employer since President Trump returned to office in 2025. Nearly 100, some reports say 111 7-Eleven stores were hit. 21 individuals were arrested, accused of undocumented employment, including some store managers using stolen identities. This isn't just about removing workers. It's a message to employers nationwide. Follow the law or face consequences. Supporters of enforcement will say it protects American jobs. Critics will call it overreach. Drop a comment, enforce the law if you agree.
Good morning, guys. Well, nearly 100 7-Eleven stores in 17 states were raided Wednesday, including 6 in Dallas. 21 workers suspected of being in the country illegally were arrested. None of them were in Dallas. Now, yesterday's raids targeted store owners and managers who were asked to produce hiring records with workers' immigration status. The feds say the 7-Eleven owners gave them stolen identities and housed them at residences. Now, 7-Eleven said in a statement that store owners are responsible for hiring and verifying work.
These weren't surprise raids. ICE served inspection notices, demanded hiring records, and confronted management head-on. Locations range from Suisun City to Santa Rosa and beyond. Critics say it hit small business owners hard, but this was law enforcement in action. Trump promised border security and employer accountability, and DHS delivered. If that stings, that might mean enforcement is finally real.
You can see in this store surveillance video agents working as part of the sweep at a Santa Rosa 7-Eleven. Other Northern California locations that were part of today's probe included Santa Clara, Petaluma, North Sebastopol, and Napa.
Where on January 20, Immigration TV. Welcome to U.S. Immigration TV. Well, as most people are aware, on January 20, 2025, just as he took office, President Trump issued an executive order that basically reinterprets the 14th Amendment of the U.S. Constitution by stating that certain children born in the U.S. will no longer be considered U.S. citizens at birth. Now, these new non-citizens include, number one, children whose mothers are either out of status or here on temporary non-immigrant visas like student, H-1, visitor visa. And number two, their father is neither a green card holder nor a U.S. citizen. Trump's reasoning is that birthright citizenship under the 14th Amendment requires that the parents and or the child be, and I quote, subject to the jurisdiction of the United States, unquote. Trump's executive order states that the above referenced children will no longer be considered to be subject to the jurisdiction of the United States and therefore will no longer be U.S. citizens at birth. Now, this is because their mother, who is out of status or here in the U.S. on a temporary non-immigrant visa, still holds allegiance or loyalty to her home country and therefore is not subject to the jurisdiction of the U.S. Now, Trump had hoped to end the practice of women coming to the U.S. for what is called birth tourism, where they enter the U.S., let's say, on a non-immigrant visa, and they give birth to a child who is now a U.S. citizen and entitled to every form of public assistance that they can apply for. Well, currently, there is a preliminary injunction in place temporarily halting Trump's efforts to enforce this executive order, meaning children being born in the U.S. even today are still considered U.S. citizens, subject to the outcome of that case. However, on July 25, 2025, the U.S. Citizenship and Immigration Services, or USCIS, issued what they called an implementation plan, which provides further guidance on how Trump intends to implement this executive order.
Hey, yo, that is sick. That is some disgusting shit. I mean, I'm just sorry. We can't relate to that at all. That is some disgusting, dirty, dusty shit. I'm in the country for something totally different. But while I'm here, I'm going to just give birth. Like, that's like the movie Alien, you dig? Well, I guess they're illegal aliens, huh? Kind of similar. But that is some dusty, dusty shit. I'm going to just give birth real fast while I'm here for a second. And, yeah, I'm just sorry. That's some dusty shit.
Order in the event it is permitted to go into effect. In other words, Trump is hoping and looking forward to his interpretation of the 14th Amendment to become the law of the land. And this is because the court, in issuing that preliminary injunction, noted that nothing in this order should be construed as preventing the Trump administration to, and I quote, develop and issue public guidance about the executive's plan to implement the executive order. In other words, the court said it's okay to tell us what you plan to do. In other words, even though there is a preliminary injunction in place now, the Trump administration is already publishing its plans on how it intends to enforce its new birthright citizenship restrictions, as though they are already anticipating being successful once the case reaches the U.S. Supreme Court. And that's where it will have to finally be decided. Whatever's going on in these lower courts or courts of appeal, this is going to go to the Supreme Court. Well, this implementation plan basically defines certain legal terms as found in the initial executive order, such as the meaning of unlawfully present. That's a term set forth in that executive order. So unlawfully present means an alien who has remained in the U.S. after the expiration of the period of stay authorized by the Attorney General.
I mean, does that make sense? You're here legally for whatever reason. It expires. Now you're here illegally. Then you go ahead and try to have a baby real fast. Like, that's some dusty shit, man.
Or present in the U.S. without being admitted or paroled. In other words, tago ng tago, out of status, or never had any kind of legal status because they snuck across the border. Another term in this implementation plan is lawful but temporary presence in the U.S. So this primarily includes mothers who entered the U.S. on non-immigrant visas, such as tourist visas, working visas, student visas.
That's disgusting.
Even though they may still be invalid non-immigrant.
Yeah, how do you get a tourist visa? That means you're here for like 2 weeks and you find yourself pregnant. Like, how does that? I don't know, man.
Status. If they give birth in the U.S., the child would not be considered a U.S. citizen unless the father was a citizen or lawful permanent resident. So according to this implementation plan, these children would acquire the derivative status of their parents versus U.S. citizenship. What does that mean? In other words, if a pregnant woman is visiting the U.S. and she gives birth, that child would not be a U.S. citizen under Trump's plan, but instead would be considered a visitor along with the child's mother. Now,
with the parents.
Be clear, while the court's injunction is still in place and children born in the U.S. may still be considered U.S. citizens, thank goodness, Trump seems determined to restrict birthright citizenship and will no longer allow mothers to come to the U.S., whether on non-immigrant.
Nah, once that go into effect, they need to roll that back and start reversing everybody who committed that crime.
My brother, my sister, picture this. You work so hard, your parents sell land, maybe even borrow money, just to send you abroad. You finally get your visa. You fly to America, you settle in.
These guys are, this is sad. They would disrespect us and won't give us no flowers. And don't even care that this plan they have to fly over here wouldn't be a plan if we didn't have the Civil Rights March. This finesse that they have wouldn't even be a finesse if we did not have the Civil Rights March. And they got the nerve to come over here with this plan, thank white people while they're over here, and then give us their ass to kiss. This is like, and then they'll say, wait, why we can't be one? Why we can't get together and be one? You guys are divisive. You're xenophobic. Yo, go to hell, man. Family, do not invite me to nothing with Africans. Okay? Leave me out. I'm not doing nothing with them collectively. Now, if they want to join the podcast, have a fun conversation, I'm cool with all that. I could be cordial. I could have a cordial relationship with folks. I do it with white supremacists. White people. We work with them. We do business with them. Whatever. I can have that phony relationship. But family, don't ever invite me anything with Africans. Or white supremacists, but Africans for sure. I ain't coming. Look how dusty they are. They got a finesse to sneak into the country and don't want to give us no flowers. Man, I'm good with them. Okay, you guys do it. You can eat their egusi, falani. You can eat that rat burger that they got. If you don't believe me, y'all buying that African food. You don't even know what you're eating. I know what you're eating. You're eating this, okay?
These discoveries at Detroit Metro Airport.
Yeah, bush meat. That's meat from rats, bats, baboons, and more. I know we got your attention. The feds aren't monkeying around with this. Fox 2's Jessica Dupnack is live at the airport. Jessica, do explain.
Yeah, we need some context here, right, Rupe and Amy? So this is crazy. Customs and Border Protection, they seized back-to-back bushmeat smugglers here at DTW. Now, the first one, it was 11 pounds of rodent meat in someone's luggage. And a couple days later, they found 52 pounds of monkey meat stacked away.
Monkey meat, but they'll tell you that they'll tell you once we say they eat rat meat and monkey meat, they'll lie and say, oh, you traumatized me. Now I'm affected. Now I just hate FBAs. Dude, you eat rat meat. You eat monkey meat. You smuggle it into the country. Why you do that? Why you smuggle it in the country? Because you're going to put it in your restaurants. So all you guys is out there trying egusi soup, falani, all that bullshit. All my question to you FBAs is, how that rat meat taste? How was that monkey brain soup? You dig? That's all you ate.
We, of course, we had to ask passengers what they thought.
Oh, that's gross.
The faces say it all.
Oh, well.
What do you think of that?
That's disgusting.
Back-to-back seizures of bushmeat at Detroit Metro Airport in 1 week. First, 11 pounds of rodent meat in the bags of a passenger coming from Togo in West Africa.
That is not appetizing at all, I would say. I do like red meat, though.
And next up, the headliner, Customs and Border Protection uncovering 52 pounds of primate meat.
That's a lot of monkey meat. My goodness.
The passenger claimed it as antelope meat, but the monkey meat coming from Central Africa, possibly this little guy.
Central Africa, they lied to us it was antelope meat. They're eating monkeys and rat meat and bat meat, and they would tell you that we are being xenophobic and all these weird words when we say they eat monkey meat, eat rat meat. You know, you actually do it. You eat bush meat. This is bush meat, family. This ain't Tariq Nasheed commercial. This ain't no root word commercial. This is the actual news station, Fox 2. All right, this is a real story. Bushmeat.
Guy or the sun-tailed monkey.
It looks tasty.
You're lying.
No, it looks good.
You'd eat that.
I'd eat it.
You're kidding.
I'm kidding.
Customs and Border Protection says primate seizures are very rare.
What's the weirdest thing in your bag right now?
No comment.
We had to ask.
What's the craziest thing you've eaten?
And then, suddenly, your visa is cancelled. You are told to pack your things and go. That is the painful reality facing over 6,000 international students in the United States right now. And among them, our very own...
You heard that. Their worst nightmares, their visa being revoked. Like, that is sad. Yeah, you really planned your life to come into America. Like, your life goal, your life accomplishment is coming to America on some Eddie Murphy shit. That is crazy, yo. I can't even fathom some goofy dream like that, man.
Nigerian students. Today, we are talking about what happened, why America is doing this, and most importantly, what solutions we in Africa must look at. Because this is bigger than just visas. It is about our future.
The State Department has reportedly canceled more than 6,000 student visas. As first reported by Fox News, around 4,000 were pulled because of crimes including assault, driving under the influence, and burglary. As many as 300 visas were revoked over what an official called support for terrorism, though no further details were provided. The cancellations represent just a fraction of the more than 1 million foreign students who study at American colleges and universities. But they are the latest example of the Trump administration's tough approach towards student visas as part of its broader immigration crackdown.
The U.S. government under Donald Trump has revoked more than 6,000 student visas. This is not a small number. 6,000 young people forced to leave classrooms, dormitories, and even research programs. The official reasons? First, about 4,000 visas were cancelled because the students were accused of crimes. These include things like burglary, drunk driving, or assault. Second, between 200 and 300 students were accused of supporting terrorism. In some cases, they were suspected of fundraising for banned groups. Third, the rest of the visas were cancelled because of overstays and immigration violations. This is part of something the Trump administration is calling continuous vetting. What does that mean? It means every visa holder in the U.S., and there are more than 55 million of them.
So I had to go around the country and educate people about.
Family, who remembers this?
So I had to go around the country and educate people about what immigrants do for this country, or the fact that we are a country of immigrants.
Right, right.
The fact is, ain't none of y'all trying to go and farm right now.
Well, according to ICE, nobody is trying to go farm right now. Even undocumented illegal immigrants that are violent, they're not trying to farm either, Jasmine Crockett.
Okay, so I'm lying. Raise your hands. You're not. You're not. We done picking cotton. We are. You can't pay us enough to find a plantation.
I know that's right.
At Alligator
I know that's right. So you heard that? Picking cotton. So she would lie and say immigrants in this country that ICE is going to pick up, they're picking the cotton for FBAs. So they're the only reason why we're not on a plantation picking cotton, thanks to undocumented illegals. But we're a little smarter than that, because ICE raids, I don't recall them locking up immigrants on a farm where they're picking cotton. I recall them getting arrested at facilities like this.
Fear is spreading through an Alexandria community after federal agents stopped a group of construction workers and detained them. The city's mayor is calling it unconstitutional. Catalina Perez de Armenian from our sister station Telemundo 44 spoke with neighbors who are worried about what might happen next.
Frozen in time. That's how this corner of Florence Drive looks like here in Chirilagua tonight. Those who live around here tell us this morning there were 8 to 10 construction workers here on site. Workers that they say were detained by federal agents.
Jasmine Crockett, you told us this. That's a construction site, Jasmine. You told us this.
So I had to go around the country and educate people about what immigrants do for this country, or the fact that we are a country of immigrants.
Right, right.
The fact is, ain't none of y'all trying to go and farm right now.
Well, it looks like neither are immigrants. Where they get raided at again?
Those who live around here tell us this corner of Florence Drive looks like
happen next.
Frozen in time. That's how this corner of Florence Drive looks like here in Chirilagua tonight. Those who live around here tell us this morning there were 8 to 10 construction workers here on site. Workers that they say were detained by federal agents.
Don't say anything to these people, because you don't know who they are.
You don't have to say anything to them either, sir.
This video captures the moment when at least one construction worker was apparently detained by federal authorities in Chirilagua this afternoon. Raul.
Jasmine Crockett, this contradicts your little bullshit speech. And nobody I know, no illegals got arrested on a damn farm full of cotton. They all got arrested at employment and companies that FBAs would have proudly loved to work for.
Who says he was driving through the area when the incident apparently took place, says it was a group of 8 to 10 workers.
Vi cuando los levantaron y los pusieron con las manos arriba de los carros.
He says he saw the moment the agents supposedly detained the workers. As you can see in the video, they were wearing masks. He says he left the area out of fear, but he wasn't the only one. Rufina, who lives on that street.
By the way, for you dudes, this is my ICE application I'm filling out, okay? Because I'm going to help make America better. You dig? Yeah, I'm going to help load these people up and get them out the country. And guess what? They ain't picking no damn cotton. They out here doing construction, and they're at Hyundai dealership selling cars. So they are literally taking American jobs. So that lie, Jasmine, you can retire it.
Told News 4 that she had previously seen the workers when she left her home that morning. She says she came back around 12:30 to 1 p.m. That's when she heard about what was happening.
Que no saliéramos porque estaban migración en esta área acá.
y que tenían los muchachos que estaban trabajando ahí del roofing.
She says the detainment allegedly happened where the workers came down from the roof to have lunch. This afternoon, local leaders joined by representatives of Tenants and Workers United shared.
We denounce the unconstitutional and just abhorrent and horrible behaviors that we have seen.
Meanwhile, Council member Caneca Aguirre also shared a statement that in part reads, "The Arlandria Chirilagua neighborhood is home to a community of immigrants, working families, local businesses and nonprofits that have contributed to Alexandria's vibrancy and economic success for decades. Here in Alexandria, we stand with our immigrant community." News 4 reached out to ICE and the Alexandria Police Department to try to confirm this incident, but we still have not received a response. What we can tell you is neighbors here say now they're living in fear. We'll continue to update you. Catalina Perez.
Wait a minute. Wait a minute. ICE federal agents lock up an illegal, undocumented immigrant that's Latino. Let me get this straight. Illegal, undocumented Latino. And then other Latinos say they're living in fear. Yeah, I just gotta get back out there. Why would you be living in fear if you're legal? That's either gaslighting or they're illegal.
Armiñán, News 4.
So I had to go around the country and educate people.
No. Not her no more.
Thank you very much. We are honored to be here with our law enforcement professionals, both in Nassau County and our federal partners, to announce that we have had a very, very important, sweeping pickup of people that were dangerous to our community and the whole region, not just Nassau County. We want to send a clear message that gang activity in Nassau County will not be tolerated. You're not going to poison our children with your evil works and your evil doings here in Nassau County. So to that end, Commissioner Ryder, District Attorney Ann Donnelly, our federal partners in ICE, we got together over the last week and we had a very intensive search for people who were involved in gang activity and committing crimes. We're talking about people who have been in gangs for quite some time. They've engaged in illegal activity, including attempted murder, rape, all kinds of felonies, including human trafficking of women and young girls. This is something that is despicable.
Exactly, and that's why we need ICE to pick up these folks. Family, I love you guys. Thank you for pulling up this late live, this late night. I started early, and well, not early, but I try to get going before at 9:30, but nothing later. I got going at like 9:45, 15 minutes late, but you guys stuck with me. It's late. I'm sleepy. I got to catch my sleep. So tomorrow morning live, I'm going to cut my alarm clock off. So it's probably going to be, I think I'm going to sleep late. So maybe tomorrow morning live is like 10 a.m. because I get 9:30, 10 a.m. It's normally around 8:30 a.m. I shoot for it, but I'm so sleepy. I just cannot. I need my 8 hours. I'm sorry. So it's already 12:30 a.m. I need my 8 hours. So expect a 10 a.m. live tomorrow, unless I just wake up early and can't go back to sleep. Then I'll be regular time. But in between 8 to 10 a.m., I'm going live. Hopefully, family, it's 10 a.m. because then you know your boy, your brother got his sleep. If it's earlier than that, I didn't get my sleep. So I love you guys. It's all about the lineage, the lineage, the lineage, the lineage. Let me leave you guys with the outro with the national lineage anthem. Okay, you mind if I just leave you guys with the national lineage anthem before we leave? Is that okay? Leave on a good note, nothing negative. And by the way, that logo is fly. So we got the two young kids represent the future FBA. They're keeping the diaspora war in check, right? Keeping it in check. And also that flag right there, family, that is literally the flag of 1967. That is called the Black American Heritage Flag. I like that flag the best. I ain't gonna lie. I'm thinking about bringing it. I have that flag is already trademarked. It's already owned. Everything goes to Melvin Charles. But I love the flag so much. I want to just talk about it. I might even buy one. But I'm going to keep it alive. It died out. It phased out during the civil rights movement because they say the Pan-Africanist red, black, and green flag, drowned it out. But that flag is a Pan-Africanist nightmare because they drowned it out. They thought it was dead. But now that flag started to resurface now that we are embracing our lineage, our unique ethnogenesis lineage. So family, I think it's important to start resuscitating things that we're seeing as dead, but should be kept alive. You dig? So I'm gonna help with your help resuscitate this flag and bring it back to the forefront like it should be. Okay, family. So stay tuned for the lineage national anthem for the FBA national anthem. Let's go. After that, we're out of here, family. See you between 8 to 10 a.m.
That show me subscribe.
Make no mistake, we're the only black people in y'all that only eat rat, eat cat people. You ain't black, you ain't that. Matter of fact, your black is repo, I'm taking it back. Cause y'all making it whack, faking jacks y'all from the slave, raiding the tax. Bitch. We built the foundation, our innovations were groundbreaking. You ain't wanna get down, now you around, hating, faking. With the lineage in and out, the ground shaking. Someone say, FBI, we don't run away. We stay, we slay, we pray, we say, Someone say, FBI, we don't run away. We stay, we slay, we pray, we say, mistake, we're the only black people and y'all the only eat rat, eat cat people. You ain't black, you ain't that. Matter of fact, your black is repo, I'm taking it back. Cause y'all making it whack, faking jacks y'all from the slave, raiding the tax. Breaks, pause, We built the foundation, our innovations were groundbreaking. Y'all ain't wanna get down, now you around, hating, faking, with the lineage eating, now the ground shaking. Someone say, FBA, we don't run away. We stay, we slay, we pray, we say, Someone say, FBA, we don't run away.